Bada bing, bada boom, what is up, fuckers? We are doing a really weird fucking stream today to celebrate 100 subscribers on YouTube. If you're on Twitch, no one really gives a shit. But if you're on YouTube, you're cool because you're like a top shagger. I expected this morning to wake up and see that we had like fallen below 100 subscribers back down into the 90 region. But no, not only have we stayed the same, we have in fact technically not stayed the same, we've gone up to 101 as of this present moment. So that's pretty fucking cool. So yeah, I've got a few things planned for us. First thing, we're going to have some background music. It's Undertale. It's on YouTube because my sister's currently using the Spotify. We all share a Spotify account. If you think I'm being a grown-ass adult and buying my own Spotify subscription, you can fuck right off. So, because we are, like, a completely respectful person, we're going to just leave her off the Spotify and we're just going to play YouTube. Yeah, it's a bit pitiful, really, isn't it? And there's probably going to be ads as well, so we'll see how that goes. But anyway, our first magical thing of tonight is we're going to be doing a top 50 games list. If I can actually remember 50 games. There's a lot of great games that I've played. I mean, lower that. I think the music on your end is probably like not too loud. On my end, it is loud. And I can't think when I have background noise, but it'd be kind of dead if there was like no background noise. But I digress. So yeah, there's a ton of games that I've played that I even though they're good, I just forget. And you could make an argument that if I forgot them, they're not that good. But that's just me being a stupid little cunt. So we're on this website called Topsters. Moist Critical did something like this not too long ago. I just stole it. So let's see how this works, shall we? Well, obviously we're putting a VAT up there. Elden Ring is my favorite game of all time. Because Night Rain is already here, I'm going to put this here. I don't quite know where that's going to be yet. It's not second place, because second place is Resident Evil. I'm just going to put Resident Evil and then see if I can flick through them. Ooh, that's cheeky. There's a 7 and an 8 together. That is cheeky. I may have to use that. Well, that's going on there. This is Resident Evil Village is my second favorite game of all time. Fight me. I just really like what they've got going on there. I'll explain it a bit more in a sec. Is there no default Resi 7? Am I blind? There we go. So Elden Ring's my favorite game of all time. The Souls-likes are like my favorite genre, and I have so many hours, over 1,000 hours in that game. Resident Evil Village, just because I just really like Resident Evil. I love all Resi games. Well, not all of them. 5 and 6 can fuck off. But like, you know, I really like 2. 3 is okay. I really like 4. But 7 was something else entirely. I think Resident Evil works better when it's first person. I've said this TED Talk a million times on stream, but I'll say it again. I prefer first person Resi. And Resident Evil 7 is fucking phenomenal. It is a masterpiece. The only reason I put Village above it is because 7, it's mainly for the environment and the fear factor, the kind of the scares and stuff, which means it excels at a first playthrough, but not at subsequent playthroughs. If you play a single playthrough of 7 and 8, I think 7's probably the better game. But when you're, obviously, as an achievement hunter that has 100% in both games, when you replay Resi 7, you know where the jump scares are, and you're already used to the environment, and so subsequent, it doesn't have as much replay value. Whereas Resi 8, I think, does have replay value, because like Resident Evil 4, for example, is 10% horror, 90% action, in my opinion, which means it's still got a good environment, and there's still scary bits, but you're mainly just playing it for the gameplay. Resi 7 is 90% horror and 10% action, so you're playing it for the environment. Resident Evil Village is the only Resident Evil game, in my opinion, that has an absolutely perfect ratio of 50% combat or action and 50% horror. It has just the right amount of horror to keep you on edge throughout the whole entire game, and to keep you on edge in subsequent playthroughs, but it has enough gameplay elements to make subsequent playthroughs just continuously fun. So, I have like 100 hours in Village, more than any other Resi game. I obviously have done subsequent playthroughs of like all of them for like achievements, because I've 100%ed all 3 of these Resident Evils. You can't see my cursor, but you can see me like highlight them. But yeah, so we may move a few of these things. But I think that's my Resident Evil bit done. I'm dying. But no, there's been some like kind of leaks and talk about Resident Evil 9. I personally, what I wanted from 9 is I wanted a final Winters game. Obviously not an Ethan game, because in Village at the end, they said that the father's story was now over, but it was a very particular choice of words to say that the father's story was over, not the rest of them. So obviously you've still got Mia, and you've still got Rose. Rose is a tricky one, because you'd kind of have to deal with her powers again, which I think a lot of people wouldn't like, but Mia's perfectly... She's perfect for an MC, because we've already had her in... Resi 7 in the ship section, and also in DLCs like in Jack's birthday. But oh god, I don't know why I'm choking on oxygen today, but yeah, it's going to be a tough stream on my vocals. I'm going to be talking a lot. I always talk, but still. Oh, absolute fucking banging song that you probably can't hear, but you know. I was going to put some Expedition 33 tunes on in the background as well. We'll see. Don't know if we're kind of... I'm in a bit of a fuck it we ball attitude. I don't know if I'm going to get copyright or not. Worst case scenario, I can just delete the VODs and all the special people that watch it live can be blessed with my shit opinions. But a lot of people are kind of probably going to be like, why isn't Original 4 on there instead of like Remake 4? I just prefer the remakes. I'm sorry. I don't have... I got into Resi relatively late. I don't have nostalgia behind the old games. And nostalgia is a powerful fucking thing. But no, because I don't have the nostalgia, the remake is like objectively better. Obviously, you could definitely make an argument that Original 3 is better than the remake, but I think Resident Evil 4... I've played Original 4 as well. I played all the originals and the remakes. Like, if I was to put Resi 2 remake on this list, well, I would put the remake on and not the original, just because I think it's better. But then let's put some... I am going to be adjusting these a lot, by the way. But obviously, Dark Souls Remastered, and Dark Souls 3, and Dark Souls 2. Like that. Just for now, this will probably change. Resi 4 may go down a bit. We'll put Night Rain. Oh, that's tricky, actually. Where would I put Night Rain? There's a bit of recency bias, I fear. I'm going to put it like that. What other games do we want? Like I said, this is going to be changing a lot. Let's put out a, I forget how you spell it. I don't know if it hasn't, if it's an R or not. This is going to be an interesting one. Is it even on there? Is Touhou 2 H's or am I a retard? I think I'm a retard. How do you spell Touhou? Help me. Touhou Lunar Nights. I still don't know if it has an R on Lunar or not. Ah, here we go. Touhou Lunar Nights. One of the best, like, Metroidvanias out there. I just really like the game, and the reason I like it is just because it's so niche. It's a Touhou game, so it's based, and it's like a fan game, and there's a lot of nostalgia behind it. One day, I was horrifically bored on Xbox, and, like horrifically bored. It was in, like, a summer holidays in high school, and I didn't know what the fuck to do with myself, so I spent a good few hours just, like, searching for games I could play. And then there was a section called Leaving Soon or something on Xbox Game Pass, and Touhou Lunar Nights was leaving Game Pass. And I was like, oh, this looks interesting. You know, I've kind of heard about Touhou, because the main reason I got into Touhou was, like, through the Night of Nights, or, like, the Flowering Night song, and, like, Bad Apple. A lot of the really, really popular mainstream kind of songs. So I played it, and I just fucking loved it. I loved it so much. I think it has some really cool mechanics with, like, the boss rush and the time mechanics. It leads to some interesting bosses and platforming and stuff, and some puzzles. So that's going on there. Whilst we're on Metroidvanias, Nine Souls can go on there. And Hollow Knight, obviously, can go on. Really like this for now. Touhou Lunar Nights is great, but it's largely powered by nostalgia for me. I think Hollow Knight has more content. I fucking love Nine Souls. Nine Souls is great, but I think it's a smaller game than Hollow Knight. Hollow Knight has so many expansions and just things going for it, and obviously fucking Silksong is hopefully going to develop that. Then, obviously, we need to put some actual Metroid games on there. Fusion's going on there, and Dread's going on there. Put it like that. For the time being. I may have to dethrone some things at some point. We shall see. But we're just going to try and get 50 games on here. And then we can cheese it a bit. Because obviously I could technically, if I wanted an extra slot, I could combine Re 8 and Re 7 into one of the packages that was over in this section. Now we're going to... I'm just thinking of things I can like put on there. Because I know for a fact I could cheat on this. Because there's a game where it has like all three of the Arkham trilogy. Arkham City. And then we need Arkham Knight. Which I'm actually not seeing. Arkham Knight. Is this meant to be this looks like a suit though. That's not really... Ah, here we go. That's more familiar to me. And then Arkham Asylum. There we go. Okay, Arkham Knight's my favorite, followed by City, followed by Asylum. Some people put City in front of Knight. But I just think, obviously, Knight's just a bit more modern, so it's just a bit more crisp and refined. I think the story is better in City. I think the gameplay is better in Knight, and I think the environment's best in Asylum. And that's kind of just the general consensus. You know, that's going on. We may move those around, like I said. I'm just trying to think of games we can put on there. There's so many things I want to talk about. I'm trying to get back into Final Fantasy. Again. It's like that time of the year where I'm trying to get into it. I just can't, honestly. But I've reinstalled Final Fantasy 16, and I'm going to try and actually finish it this time. Just continuing from where I left off. No idea how much of the game is left, but... I don't know, man, but because obviously the Final Fantasy set, like, it's kind of already out in MTG, but I believe it gets fully released tomorrow, the 13th of June, to become, like, regularly available to purchase in stores, but not in the UK, because the UK is shit, but it'll be in, like, America, but, in the UK, we don't really have too many game stores, or card stores, or nerd stores, and the ones we do have are kind of dog shit, and don't have a lot going on for them, and they're really small, and they tend to go out of business quite quick, because the economy's dog shit, but, minus all that lot, I'm trying to get into it more, because at first I didn't really... I thought like it was cool, because even though I'm not a Final Fantasy fan, I've played a decent amount of the games. The only one I've ever finished is 7, but I have played 13, 13-2, 13 Lightning Returns, 14, 15, and 16. I've played all those games, I got about halfway through in all of them, and just couldn't bring myself to finish them. So the only one I finished is 7 Remake. There's like a remake, then a remake Intergrade, and then there's also Crisis Core, which I may play Crisis Core because it's on PS Plus. But no, I'm gonna try. I actually may have a marathon of Final Fantasy games. I don't know if I can bring myself to play like 1 to 16, but apparently 6 is meant to be quite good, and it's kind of one of the older, more pixely 2D games. So I thought that'd be a nice change of pace. That's something slightly more retro. And you can get them pretty damn cheap online. So we'll have to see. But I may try and stream 6. Maybe after Doom. I'll give it a go. Because I really want to get into it more. But yeah, there's not going to be any Final Fantasies on this. At least not right now. But I think there's a lot going for a lot of them. I've said all this kind of stuff before. I really like the characters in 15. I think that the friend group and the dynamic between Noctis and all his gang, his posse, I think it's really strong. And there's a lot of things that people actually shit on about 15 I actually quite like. A lot of people hate the intro. It's like a pushing car simulator. Your car, the Regalia or whatever, breaks down in the desert and you have to push it. And all you do is just hold forward and that's it. But it plays like a movie almost. And I think it does a really good job of kind of setting up the environment and the friends and the characters and stuff. And I just really like it, but there's so much tedious things. I would... Actually driving the car and traversing around the place, there's so many invisible walls and you're so limited with your exploration. I wish it was more like fucking Forza or something where you can just fly the fucking Regalia off hills and shit and just go like fucking Mach 10. It'll be great. It'd be really fun. But no, I didn't really give too much of a shit when the new Magic set came out. But it's a massive set, so you kind of can't ignore it. Like... as an MTG player, you know, because it's all standard legal stuff, and it's such a, like I said, massive set. There's now more legendary creatures in Universes Beyond than there is universes, like, within. But there's some crazy sets. I actually, I don't have any of the tabs open, but if we go on to MTG, I was looking at decks earlier. And when you go on, you'll probably already see a lot of the commanders. I don't actually know what it would be under. I forget what I clicked. I'm not too familiar with this. With whatever the fuck I'm doing. There was a thing I was looking. Maybe was it under Final Fantasy or what? I didn't fucking do anything, did it? Do. But there was a thing where it was on about like popular cards from the Final Fantasy set, and there's so many powerful cards that regardless of if they're Final Fantasy or not, they're just good for decks. So even from like a, not necessarily a meta standpoint, but from like a new, like, fun standpoint, what was it under? That's gonna annoy me. Was it this? Well, see, there's already a Vivi here. That's something. There's quite a few VVs. See, there's the old Final Fantasy Chocobo there. The turtle guy. So there's quite a few that are creeping in. But anyway, I was looking at decks. Obviously, my friends and I play incredibly casually. Not competitive at all. We just like really fun jank decks that don't really play too well. But I just searched up Final Fantasy just to see what there was in Commander, and there was a Tifa deck that intrigued me. Hopefully I'm not like doxing anything here, probably not. I'm not even a big fan of Tifa, which you may be surprised to hear. I'm not even like a fucking simp or anything, but it's a mono green deck, and I don't know why I've gone on this fucking MTG tangent, but it's my fucking stream, fuck you. But what happened to the music? What the fuck? What happened to the music? Oh, it's still going. But yeah, let me click on the cards so you can see. I'm just gonna. I mean, no one probably watching even knows what MTG is, but she has trample, meaning that she like she has piercing damage basically. When she attacks something, any excess damage gets dealt to the player, and it's a landfall deck. So 90% of the cards in this deck have additional abilities when you play a land card. And hers is all about, like, doubling her power. So she's quite a cheap commander card, which means you can get her out nice and quick. And she's very weak, but using certain cards, you can make her really powerful. And it's a relatively cheap deck, 80 Great British pounds. But then you take into consideration delivery and tax and all that not very epic stuff. It becomes relatively pricey. But no, it's it looks really fun, and one of the main reasons it's fun is because this fucking meme card you may or may not be aware of called Jumbo Cactuar. A lot of people hate this card because it kind of breaks the power scaling and the lore in Magic. There's actually a decent amount of care put into the power and the health or the toughness of an MTG card. So their actual stats on their card reflect how powerful they are in the lore. So most cards are between like the 1 and like the 10 kind of attack range, the power range. And there is ways to make stronger cards with like obviously like equipment and there's certain exploits and stuff. But for a raw card to have an ability that when it attacks, it gains 9,999 for a total of 10,000 attack, it like completely shatters everything. So a lot of like MTG fucking like nerds don't appreciate that. I think it's fucking hilarious. So obviously it's a very expensive card, and it's only useful when you attack, but it'll have summoning sickness when it comes in, so you have to keep it alive for like a whole turn, and it's just going to get targeted so bad, potentially at least. But having 10,000 attack isn't super... I mean, it's basically, it one-shots anything, but there's a gimmick called Death Touch, which does the exact same thing for like easier. But then you look into the rest of the deck and realize that there's so many abilities to do with changing power of cards and changing with tokens and also adding trample to things. So I'm not super clued up with the shit yet, but I'll see, this gives it hexproof, which means it can't be targeted by spells. So the main thing really is just spamming a bunch of lands on field to trigger a bunch of buffs, and then just go absolutely mental with various trample abilities and all sorts of stuff. So there's a lot of spells like this which put more lands on. It's nothing like super amazing, but it does look exceptionally fun. So I thought about buying this, which I may do. For this stream, I almost did buy a booster box. I was talking about that a bit. I was going to go for Innistrad, but it kind of like, it's a bit old now, kind of fell off. And I have all the Innistrad cards I want, because my, Innistrad, my favorite set, favorite plane. Dragonstorm is also kind of, it's kind of got a bit stale, it's a bit been there, done that. It's all just Final Fantasy at the moment. So I wanted to kind of get some products, but it's all just, it's so like oversaturated and like overhyped. Well, not overhyped, but it has so much hype around it. It's probably going to be like the best-selling Universes Beyond set by quite a large margin. And naturally, it's all just being scalped and shit. So I wanted to get a collector's booster box, because that's where the value's at. You can get basically fuck all from a normal booster box. You may as well just buy singles. But it's like minimum £500. And I mean minimum. Like, some of them go for over £1,000. These like collector booster boxes, which are 12 packs, by the way. And I really wanted to get one for stream, because I thought it would be fun. But yeah, that's not happening, basically. So we may have to just go down the buy singles route, like a smart, poverty-stricken individual. Because a lot of it's pretty cheap. I guess it depends on your definition of cheap. But Commander decks, because it's 100 cards, they are naturally a bit more chunky and a bit more expensive. Let's see. I'm just kind of trying to find a good example. I'm gonna read this really quick. But there's a bunch of stuff that gives you trample. So you can give your 10,000 attack cactus trample and just one-shot your opponent, which is fucking hilarious to me. But yes. So no, all sorts of things. There you go. Target creature you control gains trample. There was a spell somewhere which was kind of fucking hilarious, but it was an instant, and I can't remember. It was this one, I think. Yeah. So one combo I kind of came up with in my head is, let's say you've got your Commander Tifa on the field with a cactus, and you attack with both of them. Now, like, Tifa already has trample, but she's probably not going to be a big target because she's a cheap kind of card. Everyone's going to be targeting the cactus. So let's say you attack with a cactus, but you deliberately don't give it trample, and then that means someone's just going to block it in order to kill it, and then it's just out of the way. But this, target creature gains a +1, so now it's got 10,001 attack, and because it's an instant, you can play it immediately during like combat. And then it also gains the ability that when the creature dies, you get to put a number of +1/+1 counters equal to its power on another creature. So when it dies, its power is 10,001, meaning you can put 10,001 +1/+1 counters onto Tifa, who's already attacking, and she has trample, which means you've now got, like, yeah, it's just another cactus, basically. So it's great. It seems really fun, but because it's fun, like, there's so much fun stuff and hype around Final Fantasy and MTG, it makes me want to get into it more. But that was a really long segment to talk about a game like franchise I'm not even going to put on the list. But yeah, that's something. Now I've kind of drawn a blank because I spent so long talking about that. What other games can we put on there? Well, here's a oh god, I almost put Red Dead. Red Dead. See, I could cheese it and put 1 and 2. I'm gonna put them separately. Red Dead 2 followed by Red Dead 1. That's including Undead Nightmare, I guess. I could just use that one, but I'll just do the default one. But yeah, they're pretty fucking decent games. Big fan of those. Red Dead, the original Red Dead, I just loved so much. And 2 was like a perfect sequel. I really am just so salty that Rockstar just let it die for the sake of GTA 6. No Undead Nightmare Part 2. No good online, really. We're definitely going to have to adjust some of the things on this list, but yes. Is there any other Souls-likes I want? There's a lot of good ones I've played, but I wouldn't put any of them on the list. Like, definitely not Lords of the Fallen. Mortal Shell would probably be in like a top 100. Wonder if I should put Dead Cells on the list or Skill the Hero Slayer. Not sure. They would be close, but I don't know if they're top 50 or not. Like stuff like Blasphemous and all that. Well, whilst I remember, we can put a bunch of Metal Gear games on here. Absolutely. So we want Metal Gear Solid 5. We want Metal Gear Rising. And I wanted just Snake Eater. That's a subsistence one, that's good enough. Once again, you could do like Master Collection and have them all in one. 3 is my favorite, followed by 5, and then Rising can go there. Once again, absolutely going to be rejigging some of this. I fucking love Metal Gear so much. It's my literal like alert when you like follow me on Twitch. It's a fucking Metal Gear 3 reference. Such a good game. I'm really trying to think of what else I can do. I'm struggling. I have a lot of ideas, but what to put on the Well, you know what's ironic? You know what's really fucking ironic? I haven't got Undertale on here, and I've literally got the music in the background. Obviously, we're putting Undertale. I haven't played a lot of Deltarune, so I can't say for sure now. I wasn't like. It kind of started a bit slow for me, and I didn't fully get into it. I could put a Mori on it, but don't know. What games have I played on stream that I really enjoyed? Man, I'm really firing blanks. I can not think of other things. Let's put Witcher 3 on there whilst I remember. If I can. How did I? What the fuck? I absolutely butchered that. The Witcher. That one will do. Did like The Witcher. That's a good game. That may go down a little bit, but there's a lot of good in that game. I honestly may have to just like. Why don't I go on my phone and check like my Xbox and PlayStation library just to like remind me? Because I told you my memory is not the best. Even if it's like a good game, I legit will like forget. Let's check my games, shall we? It will do all the Game Pass ones as well, which is going to be hard to filter through. Anthem was fucking dog. Ark was okay, but it was fun because of friends. Oh, Baldur's Gate 3, I think I'll put on there. Baldur's Gate 3, even Divinity, potentially. Original Sin 2 was pretty good. Baldur's Gate, we already did all the Batmans. I'm kind of flicking through this quite quick. Oh, Bioshock! Ooh! Ooh, Bioshock Infinite is a fucking banger of a game. Maybe controversial. Bioshock Infinite's my favorite out of all the Bioshocks. I may even put 1 on there, honestly. I may leave it for the time being. But I think Bioshock Infinite is a perfect end to a near-perfect trilogy. So fucking good. I'd put a Balloons game on there. I don't know if I'll put Borderlands. Like, if we had more slots, maybe. But I think... Oh, Expedition 33. I literally was talking about that as well, and I forgot. Once again, potentially recency bias, but that game's fucking great. I'm still playing it in my spare time, still achievement hunting on it. So, like, Crysis was pretty good. And Darksiders I like as well. A lot of it's, you know, a lot of it's got, like, nostalgia for me. I have one friend that kind of got me into Darksiders, and it took me a bit to get into it, but it was really fun just kind of talking about that with him. Dead Space, I wasn't, like, a super big fan of. Destiny, I have too many hours in, but, now I like won't play it. Devil May Cry. We'll put the 5th one on there, obviously. I may put some of the other ones in there, but not right now. Dishonored was pretty damn good. Oh yeah, speaking of Dishonored, let's do all the Bethesda shit. So obviously Fallout 3 is going on there, 4's going on there, and New Vegas. Is there a better... There we go. New Vegas is my favorite. Followed by... You can't really see because I'm in the way. But, followed by 4, followed by 3. I think 4 and 3 are pretty interchangeable for me. And then Elder Scrolls. Oblivion's going on there and Skyrim's going on there. Skyrim more than Oblivion. We're going to have to change a lot of shit. It's actually criminal that Fallout and Skyrim are this low on the list. It's going to be so hard to jig shit around. I think that's all I want for Bethesda. Dragon's Dogma 2 was pretty good. Did like that. Doodle 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 doo doo doo. Evil Within, wasn't actually a big fan of that in all honesty. Far Cry 4. Ooh, Far Cry 4 could go on there potentially, even 3. Do I put a FNAF game on there? I don't know. They're decent. Also, Secrets of the Mimic comes out tomorrow. I don't know if I'll stream it or not. I will stream the game, but I don't know if I will tomorrow. I haven't even looked at the price or anything, honestly. I don't know how big the game is. I will absolutely play it, I just don't know when. Because it may get in the way of Doom, but no one really cares about Doom. It's not as much of a story there. Well, there is, but we can kind of dip into that whenever we want. Halo, I'm not putting a Halo game on there. Oh, actually, Halo Reach could go on there. Did like that. Inscription. I think Inscription's going on. That, like, became... okay, butchered that. I think it's with a Y, is it not? Yeah. That's going on there. That's a great game. Fucking amazing game. Judgment's pretty good. The Jurassic World Park things are like, okay. Mad Max is pretty damn decent. Don't know if it's a top 50 though. Did all my Metal Gears already. Oh, of course! How did I forget? Middle Earth, Shadow of Mordor, and War. Fucking love those games. They're kind of games that like it's kind of the same with Inscription, but not really. I like them because they were slightly more niche. However, Mordor like ended up becoming like Game of the Year. I'm pretty sure. I don't know if Shadow of War also got Game of the Year. But they got a lot more love a bit later on. But when they came out, they were kind of they kind of went under the radar a tiny little bit. But I do like having games that are kind of niche because they make me feel cool and special. Monster Hunter, don't know if I'd put one of those on there. They're fun, and I've got shit on them. That time on them, but I don't know if they're that good. Octopath Traveler. Oh, Outlast! Both Outlast games. Well, I should say there's also Outlast Trials now, but I haven't played it. I could play it. Outlast 1 followed by Outlast 2 are fucking great games. Fucking adore those games. So much. Fucking Paladins. If I could put Persona 5 on there, maybe. I don't know. That's a tricky one. Oh, and I kind of want to put Garden Warfare on there as well. We'll run out of slots. Maybe I'll go back to those. Did all my resis that I think I want to have on there. Ruby Grim Eclipse was such a bad game, but oh, Sekiro. I never put Sekiro on there. Oh, Bloodborne. What the fuck? Oh my god, what is wrong with me? I didn't even do half the fucking FromSoft stuff. I preferred Bloodborne, but okay, we're putting those way higher. They do not deserve to be that low. I could put Demon Souls on there maybe. Didn't like it as much. Shining Resonance Refrain was pretty good. I could put a Sonic game. I may put Sonic. Fuck, what's the new one? Frontiers. I really liked that game. That was really fun. Sonic Frontiers can go on there for now. I think I need a Sonic game, and I feel like that's one of them. I could put Sonic Adventure 2 or Sonic Generations on there as well. Also, what I want is a game that I cannot remember what it was called because it has a weird name. Sonic Chronicles on the DS is a nostalgia one for me. I don't know how I acquired this game. All I know is that back when I was a young boy, I just had this game on DS, and I played the shit out of it. I have so many hours in that game. It's like a turn-based fucking Sonic RPG. It was really fun, but I think that's just dumb little Kyle talking. I don't think it's actually that good of a game. I mean, let's see reviews of it. In my head, I remember it. Like, I may just be misremembering. But, I mean, it has 74% Metacritic. Not that that matters. And 4.4. It seems like a pretty good game. I enjoyed it so much. I really did. So that's a nostalgia one. I may get rid of Frontiers just to have a single Sonic game on there, because we're going to need the space. Although I kind of also want to have Shadow the Hedgehog on there as well. Because that game also is kind of based. Even, like, Super Smash Bros. For the Wii. I forget which one it was. But there's a few kind of Nintendo-ish games. Maybe we should go more into Nintendo. You gotta have a Pokemon game on there. You just do. I have so much nostalgia. I had no idea. Like, before, I wasn't, like, allowed a DS or anything. When I was younger. I wasn't allowed, like, any technology. So I wasn't really allowed to watch TV or anything. I just was like a kid that was meant to like fuck around outside. But I eventually made friends with someone just when Pokemon Black and White came out, and I saw him playing. And bear in mind, I was like such a young, like naive, ignorant kid, and I just had no idea what the fuck was going on. And it was the first time I saw a DS, and it was the first time I saw Pokemon, and I like immediately fell in love. And I finally I was able to convince my parents to get me a DS with Pokemon. I think it's Pokemon White was the one with Zekrom, which is my first ever Pokemon game. I fucking loved that game. And this was back when I didn't watch YouTube or anything. YouTube was newer, and I didn't watch any guides. So everything I did through my own exploration. And I remember finding that Kyurem by myself. What I used to do is I would watch, I got into the Pokemon anime. This was also during the Black and White era. And there were certain ones, there was an episode where Ash caught and used like a Gliscor, and I immediately fell in love with that Pokemon. So I spent ages, you had to be on a specific route, and the time had to be around like 8 PM at night at my time or something. He only appeared at night for like an hour. And it was like past my bedtime, and I would always fall asleep and never be able to catch him. I remember when I finally caught him, what I used to do is I would take Pokemon I liked, like Lucario, Gliscor, Gardevoir, Gallade, and I would like get my strong like max level legendaries to carry them through the Elite Four, and I would just grind levels on them to the level 100. I would just love like collecting vague Pokemon and level 100 them. So I spent so long, honestly, so much time, more than the average person probably would have spent on the game, just because I didn't really have anything else. I had to keep replaying the same games over and over when I was younger, because I just didn't have access to much of it. But I remember getting over the like Thundurus, Tornadus, and all that lot. They were just like random weather events, and they would spawn legendaries. But I remember one day I took a wrong turn and I ended up going into this fucking ice mountain, and fucking Kyurem was just there. I had no idea he existed, and I was like, what the fuck? You're telling me I have God knows how many hours in this game, and there's another legendary Pokemon to catch? And I went to the same friend who had the game before me, and it was so cool showing him how to get it. And then after that, I got Pokemon Y. And then I got Omega Ruby. I skipped Sun and Moon. I didn't really give a shit. I kind of skipped after that. But I kind of went back and I played all the older ones as well. Yeah, so never played Sun and Moon. But another one of my favorites that I played was... I originally played Diamond because I really liked Dialga, but then I realized Platinum existed, and I believe, if I'm remembering correctly, I just butchered, Platinum. Like, Giratina is one of my favorite Pokemons, and I believe in Platinum, you could also get Palkia and Dialga, so it was just the better version, but I can't remember. So I got right up to the point where I caught Dialga, and then immediately discovered Platinum was a thing, and then got that game. But, the reason is because another friend got me one of those, like, hacked, whatever you want to call it, like, DS cartridges, and it had, like, over 100 games on it, and it had tons of Pokemon games, so it had... it had Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum, and I just happened to play Platinum first, and then I realized, Diamond first, and then realized, oh shit, Platinum's kind of the same thing but better. So I kind of want to put Platinum on there, but I think for nostalgia purposes, I'm just gonna put white. Let's have a look at what other things. What do I want to start? Oh, obviously I want KOTOR. Obviously not. I want both. I want both KOTORs. Fucking love Knights of the Old Republic. One's better than two in my opinion. Oh, Fire Emblem. That fucking reminds me. I need Fire Emblem Awakening. Can't remember how to spell Awakening, so I'll just put that. That'll come through. It won't. Oh, it's because I put Fire Awake. I missed the emblem because I'm a fucking retard. Where is Fire Emblem Awakening? This one, right? Fire Emblem Awakening. Fucking love that game so much. Fire Emblems feels more niche nowadays, probably because I haven't released a decent game in a hot minute. But man, I really, really liked Awakening. I've played it so many times. I kind of want to play it through. Oh, got Megalovania playing in the background. But I kind of want to play Awakening again on stream. When I was finishing uni, I had quite a lot of downtime, so I started emulating it on my laptop, because I've said the story before. It's how I actually started streaming Metroid. I have a shit laptop. I didn't really want one. Didn't really need. Well, you kind of needed one. I didn't want to spend a lot of money, so I got an absolute dog shit one that could barely use Word or Google. So it was really hard to play games on it, naturally. And so I needed to think of what games can I play on this thing, and that's how I got into like emulation. I've always known about emulation, and I've dabbled in it before, so it wasn't completely new to me. But I didn't really care that much about more like retro or older things. But no, I started really kind of old, you know, with your NES, your Game Boy, and your SNES, even GameCube emulators, and that's how I got into Metroid. I played Super Metroid first on my laptop, just trying out, and I was like, wait, this game's actually pretty good. So then I just started streaming them instead. But then because I was streaming them, I couldn't play them in my spare time on my laptop. I wanted to play them on stream. So then I was like, well, what other game can I play that I may not stream? So I booted up Fire Emblem Awakening for the first time in fucking like many years, and my memory started to get hazy of the original like timeline. But then when I started playing it, it's just so fucking peak, bro. But I didn't finish uni, and I barely got past the start really. So I may want to stream that game at some point, honestly, because my memory is kind of not all there. I remember a lot of the story with the whole thing about kind of like your character's Robin, and you like got possessed and killed Chrom or whatever in your timeline, and then Lucina comes back to save her father and kind of falls in love with you, and then realizes that you're the one that killed her father. So it's interesting. Man, what other things? Let's go back on my. I don't think. Do I want any other Star Wars games? I don't know. Battlefront's pretty decent. Do I want a Sword Art Online game? They're all pretty bad, honestly. But there's a lot of nostalgia and fun behind them. Do I have Terraria on there? Oh, Terraria is such a fucking banging game. And Titanfall 2 is just there as well, because it's alphabetical. I'm gonna leave it off for now. Vampire Survivor's pretty decent. I'm kind of just, you know, these are just kind of honorary mentions, really. And I accidentally, okay, just reset because I moved my phone. Alright, we're going back down to V, I guess. Past Minecraft, I prefer Terraria over Minecraft any day. It's not even close. Definitely not having that in my top 50. What game was that? That was, oh, Scarlet Nexus was pretty good. You know, I spent £50 on that game, and then the second I bought it, it came out on Game Pass, which kind of fucking pissed me off. It's happened a few times in my life, in fairness. Walking Dead, Warhammer. Vermintide's pretty good. We Happy Few's decent. A Way Out, I had fun on that. There's Witch, you've already got that on. Honestly, I thought, like, 50 games is actually really hard. There's so many games I could have had. Do I have a Hoyo game? I'm at the bottom of the library now, and I just saw Zenless. I may have to put a Hoyo game on. They're not the best games, but because of their kind of gacha system, and then kind of the daily objectives and logins and reward system, I've invested a dangerous amount of my life into them. And I kind of want to put, like, Star Rail on there. It means, I don't know, it means a lot to me. I mean, I've played Hoyo games for so long. I literally started with Gun Girls, and then I moved into Impact, and I sold my soul to Impact. And then when Star Rail came out, I felt, I've said this story before as well, but I feel like they ended Impact in such a nice way that I just, I thought I was kind of happy with it, you know, it was such a good way to end a game for me. I was so happy with leaving it. And then I went into Star Rail, and I just started dumping the same shit into that game. So I feel like Star Rail almost carries the legacy and the nostalgia of Impact for me. So I kind of want Honkai Star Rail. I have a lot of hours in Genshin as well, but I don't really play it anymore. And Zenith is okay. Which one do we want? I mean, we could have the Penacony one, because Penacony was fucking peak. Or we'll just have the basic one. I don't know how I feel about that one. That's a bit of a controversial one. The game has a lot of flaws. Let's go into my PlayStation app now. And let's see what games I have on there, because obviously PlayStation's kind of just got a better catalogue than Xbox. Got some exclusives and shit. Go into my library. Ooh, Doki Doki Literature Club. Oh yeah, Silent Hill. I never put that on. I never put Silent Hill 2 on. Oh, dare me. Remake. Remake is fucking amazing. Kinda want Doki Doki on there. Did I put a Fate game on there? Like, I don't know, Fate Stay Reality or something? Gotta have a visual novel on there, surely. I kinda want to put Yu-Gi-Oh on there. I don't know if I should put Duel Links or Master Duel. They're both flawed games. But I have spent over half a decade playing Duel Links. I fucking love Yu-Gi-Oh! And I kind of want it on my list because it's such a big part of my life. It almost makes me want to put MTG Arena on there, even though I really don't like Arena. But just to have it on there to be like, oh look, this guy likes Magic. But I don't know, man. I kind of want Doki Doki on there. Black Myth Wukong was pretty fucking good as well, actually. Do I put Doki on there? It's pretty iconic. Okay, that came up with more shit than I thought. Oh, it's right here. This is the right one. Yeah, I'm gonna put Doki on there for now, just to cover the visual novel. Not visual. Wait, fucking. It is a visual novel, isn't it? Yeah. I always like get light novel and visual novel confused because I'm fucking stupid. Ghost of Tsushima was pretty good. Until Dawn, I liked, and Shadow of the Colossus. And Alan Wake. No, bro, we only have 2 slots, but Alan Wake 2 is one of the best games I've ever played. I reference it so much, and you can't see it because I'm in the way, but whatever. Ah, bro, this is fucking tough. Oh, Shadow of the Colossus has to go on there. I reference that a lot as well. But Until Dawn was decent, but probably not top 50. Spider-Man's pretty good. Man, that is fucking tough. I really feel like I should put a FNAF game on there, because I do like them. But I feel like they're collectively like decent. If I don't know. I think there's no standout game which in like, yeah, this is peak. It's just consistently a decent franchise. I may put Shadow of the Colossus for the time being. Oh, I feel like there's something I'm missing though. Was it only one? Or can I just not spell? What was it? Oh, well, that's the original Shadow of the... It's been remastered a few times, really, hasn't it? Eminence in Shadow! That's hilarious, actually. Do you like that game? Well, it's not really a good game, but I like the lore. We'll do that one then, the original Shadow of the Colossus. I need to change some things, bro. I do. What can come down? These can come down. What did that do? Did that fuck anything up? Can't. Nah. Batman games are good, but not that good. Man. We can put the Sonic games near the bottom, I think. Devil May Cry is pretty good. I think they should be moved down a bit, but not that much. I'm very confident in my top 3. Do I really put Resident Evil 4 in front of Dark Souls? I don't know. Also, we need... Where I've lost my Bloodborne. Bloodborne's there. Sekiro's there. Come on now. We've got to have the souls correct. Now, Hollow Knight I like, but I don't know if I like it that much. Okay. This is looking okay. Why move Dark... I like having Dark Souls 2 there, because it's just kind of close to the other FromSoft games, but I may have to move Dark Souls 1 and Dark Souls 2 down a bit. I'm happy with this. That's okay. Undertale's good. But these can move a bit. Let's put New Vegas. Let's move these up a tad. I mean, Skyrim, for a very, very long time, I adored Skyrim. I really did. But, I don't know, man. I fucking adored Skyrim. But, like, I've played it too much now, to the point where... it's not like I think of it negatively, but... I think I've literally overplayed it to the point where I almost sigh if I'd have to play it again. And I mean, I have thousands of hours in it. I have done everything. I've 100% of the game on, like, fucking every single remaster possible, every single platform possible. I've done mods galore. Witcher was good, but not that good. So that can be moved down. Anything else that can be moved down? I think Doki there is decent. I think maybe DMC and Undertale need to move down a bit. Baldur's Gate, maybe recency bias on Expedition 33. Silent Hill 2 needs to move up. Star Rail can go there. And then let me just move that there or something just to get all the Arkham games like that. This is looking... I think Pokemon probably should go down a bit as well. I think Silent Hill and Outlast's a good call. There is so much like bias and nostalgia and recency shit going on. I adored Undertale for so long as well. That almost has the Skyrim treatment for me. I fucking loved everything to do with Undertale, but now I've kind of like... It's not like I've outgrown it, but I have just kind of... There's nothing left for me there, you know? I don't know if I move that down. I feel like Inscription needs to come down a little bit. I feel like Shadow of War and Mordor. I have a lot of nostalgia for those games. Silent Hill needs to come up. I mean, Infinite's better than Witcher in my opinion. I say better, like, you know, like don't fucking flip your lid when I say terminology like better. Alan Wake needs to come up. Come on now. But, like, by how much? Let's swap those two, actually. Shadow of the Colossus needs to be moved up to, like, at least here. Sonic, Doki, Pokemon. Maybe Star Rail should go down more. Yeah, let's put Star Rail here. Actually, that could really be at the... I may put Star Rail here, because I'm kind of... about it even being on the list, so... Let's see. I think I may bring Shadow of War Mordor down. I'm still not super happy with The Witcher. Because do I really like The Witcher more than half this stuff? I'm going to put The Witcher here. I think that's a good call for me, in my opinion. I am struggling so much of this list. There's so many more games I want to have on it. Let's go back up here. I'm pretty happy with all this. Maybe some of this could be moved down. I think Metroid Fusion could be moved down a bit, actually. Like, quite a bit down. I don't know. I don't know. It was good, but Dread's just a bit better. I just don't think it's on the same level as any of the other stuff. Where would I bring it down to? I may bring it down to, like, Awakening level. Because it's kind of just I don't know. It can be Nintendo twins. It's a really good game. But I think that there's so many good contenders here. I think I have to have Alan Wake in front of Inscription just because it's more it's just got more to it. I may put Silent Hill 2 in front of Outlast. Outlast 2 can come down a bit. They were really only together because they're both Outlasts. Outlast 2 is quite a bit worse than Outlast 1. So that's not too bad. Devil May Cry... yeah... I think we're close. I think we are close. I don't know if Undertale should come down. Undertale can come at least there, if it'll let me. Still, this feels like I'm missing something still. It really does. I think the top row is spot on. I think the second row is looking pretty much there. Third row, I still don't know how I feel about certain placements. I feel like Undertale, Infinite, 5, Shadow of Wars, they can all be moved around to some point. I mean, I adored KOTOR so much. It feels disingenuous to have it down that low. I feel like I could swap stuff. And then, yeah, Awakening. Expedition 33, Baldur's Gate, Shadow of Colossus. It'll just become a bit messy at the bottom, doesn't it, really? Can I title this? How do I title this? Can I not title this? Doesn't really matter. I may download this because it's a fun image that I can share around with my friends and ask for opinions. Man, I really do feel like I need to swap a few things. We're so very close. And there's so many more things that I'm probably forgetting that should be on it as well. But, I think I may keep it as is for now, honestly. I still, we are really, it's the fine-tunements now, is the thing. Do I bring Undertale down? Do I bring Bioshock down? No, I think it's good. Fuck it. Let's download it as is. There we go. Chart.png. I'm gonna swap the name of that bad boy. Let me bring up my files. Should probably bring it up on my second monitor, just in case. I don't think there's anything dodgy on here, really, but, you know. Well, I have got university stuff that I probably shouldn't show. I don't know. Top 50 games. Maybe I'll share that. I don't know. Place it on my story or something. I'll probably just send it to my friends. But I think this summarizes my kind of nostalgia in life with gaming. I think we have so many different genres. Metroidvanias, card games, horror games, survival horror games, like creature capture games, you know, like top-down like JRPGs. Yeah. Nice little bit of Bethesda games, got some Sonic on there, got a gacha game on there. We have like all genres from all different like time periods and shit. So yeah, I like I said, it's not 100%. We could cheese it a bit because we could combine 8 and 7 into one game. We could combine some of the Fallouts together because they have bundles. KOTOR I think has a bundle. So that, you know, like you know, the Batman Arkham trilogy I could have into a single one if I wanted to, instead of having 3 slots. But I think I'm good with that for the time being. So we'll leave that bit as that. There was another thing. There's a few things I wanted to do. But the next thing is a bit controversial, or actually quite extremely controversial. I could do more tier lists. I was going to do a tier list on the Night Rain characters, but there's tier lists out there already which reciprocate my thoughts on it, and it's kind of just a one. So I think for the next thing, we're going to do something really dumb, which I shouldn't do. We're doing like a react to like some drama, if you want to call it that. So this was under my recently watched. Man, I got a bot guy. Man squeezed through the fucking crack. So yeah, that's my thumbnail. I hope you like it. It's Resident Evil 7 if you couldn't tell. And then I did some expert editing to put my fucking. I mean I should have the PNG. I think it's this one. Let me there we go. Let me bring that on stream for you. There it is in all its glory. Absolutely immaculate editing, I know. But that's pretty good. But I actually wait, what am I doing? Oh, just doxing myself. This video right here. Let me quickly, God, I have so much fucking shit. Pause that. We don't need that. So, my friend sent me this earlier. And this is, I'm going to regret doing this probably. This is really fucking dumb. But it's like some drama shit that I thought we would react because I found it funny and I'm a terrible person. So first, let's address the elephant in the room. This is quite hypocritical of me to talk about, because when we had the Cinder drama, at first I didn't want to talk too much about it because a lot of this type of stuff's he said, she said, and with the like, you know, in the introduction of AI into the scene, you can be skeptical about basically everything. But I thought we could have a bit of, like, you know, fun with some journalism here. And ironically, whilst I've been streaming, it's developing even more. I mean, right in the top right-hand corner, you can see there, I mean, it's a Rev Says Des video, which I'm pretty sure he's a bit of a controversial character. I don't think there's a lot of people like him, but yeah, VTubers leaked Crash Out is crazy. I kind of want to watch that, but I don't want to, like, I don't like reacting to long stuff. I'll react to this because it's not too long, but I'm not going to react to a 20-minute video because we'll be here for fucking forever, and I don't like using other people's content or anything like that, even though that's like what I'm doing right now, so I'm honestly just fucking hypocritical. But the Cinder thing was really big. It was fucking massive, and this wasn't that big like 2 hours ago before I started streaming, but it's actually seems to be getting a bit more traction because obviously there's quite big people talking about it since you've got a Rev video that already has 12k views in 45 minutes. I don't feel qualified to talk about this. I'm not, but like I said, there's some extremely funny things in here, so I thought we would react to it. So my friend sent it to me, and he was like, I thought you'd find this humorous. I watched the first 30 seconds, and there were some fucking crazy statements, and I was like, man, I've got to react to this. So yeah, this isn't my like usual content, but we are kind of, because it's the 100 subscriber special, where we're doing a fuck it Weeball. But no, I probably will regret this because I recognize that it's controversial, and there's actually not a lot of I don't want to say concrete, but like reliable evidence per se. But I'm gonna try and go down a rabbit hole, and we're gonna do some like investigative journalism because that type of stuff's fun for me. So that's what we're gonna be doing. So hopefully I don't get too fucked for this. But anyway, so this VTuber here, which I actually am not very familiar with, but she's a member of Niji-Sanji EN, I believe. Let's have a look. She's a pretty big deal, or at least she used to be. 50k, or 55k on the old YouTube, but it's a bit of a weird rabbit hole. So yeah, big part of a big like corporate thingamajig. Channel's not that old actually. Barely a year old, interestingly enough. However, she hasn't uploaded in 7 months. And she was never... She mainly just did ASMR shit, to be fair. In terms of live, did she used to live stream? Oh, this is fascinating. Yeah, it's very fascinating indeed. This timeline correlates to an extent. So she streamed relatively consistently, 5 months, 6 months, 6 months, 6 months, 6 months, pretty consistent here. And then you can see just above me, streamed 5 months ago, and then there was a fucking massive 5-month gap before she then, like, came back 2 weeks ago. And that almost correlates with a Reddit post I saw, which I don't know if I should show this on stream or not. So, yes, 6 months ago, she was taking an indefinite hiatus. I don't have X, so I don't know if half of these links will work, and I'll probably end up doxing myself, but I do not care. Just show my emails. No, I don't give a fuck. Need to put for a panel. Indefinite hiatus from streaming and tweeting. This was December 2024, interestingly enough. Whilst her actual account only came out in May 2024. So she went on hiatus before her, yeah, she didn't have her, her YouTube for very long before she went on a hiatus. But I'm assuming she's, she doesn't have a Twitch link. Is she exclusively on YouTube? There's a Twitter link, but I'm not seeing any like Twitch link here. Let me go on Twitch and go on my about section and make myself echo, because that sounds like a smart idea. I don't know how half this Niji-Sanji bullshit works, so she is on Twitch. It's not linked though. She seems to have more success on YouTube than on Twitch. Hasn't been active, like, at all. I don't know if she scrubbed all of her stuff or what. There's nothing here, really. This looks like hella fucking dead. Don't know if it was scrubbed, don't know if it's always been like that, but that's the state of it. Can you see when an account was made on Twitch? It doesn't, I'm not seeing anything. It'd be interesting to try and correlate that with, I don't want to report her, I'm not that fucking down bad. But yes, so this is our entertainment for the evening, I suppose. Trying to, but anyway, let's, I don't need that anymore. But it's fascinating, because the most upvoted thing is she's been suspended, hasn't she? And like I said, I am not familiar with this, this VTuber, but the fact that the top comment immediately, like, knows she's been suspended kind of suggests a lot about her character. I am really, like, taking this like a proper detective, you know. I've got the fucking detective hat on and everything. Got the magnifying glass out. But yeah. So her hiatus was supposedly a suspension. I don't know what type of suspension it was. If it was a suspension within the corporate Niji-Sanji, if it was a suspension on Twitch or YouTube. This guy does say Niji, so I'm assuming it was a suspension within the company. And there's some comments she makes, I believe, throughout this video here that talk shit about Niji, so maybe that's a result of it. It seems like she'll be fired, and to try and trash her publicly, well, it seems like she trashed herself publicly. I just hope the other stuff doesn't happen. Oh boy, this aged not very well. The line of Niji-Sanji's management had issues in the past, selling, yeah, okay. interesting. So yeah, 6 months ago, it seems like she had issues with Niji Sanji. But I don't know if they got rid of her because this still exists, and she's still using all the titles and stuff. And I mean, give or take, the hiatus links in with this. You know, she went on hiatus 6 months ago. These were streamed 5 months ago. It's not that big of a gap, and it does check out that she only recently came back. And is already getting shit on, which is fascinating. But don't think we need any more of that. Anyway, let's watch this. But what I will say before we do it is this. I find this channel very suspicious. It was literally created today, the 12th of June. There's no other links, no other videos or anything. It came at the blue, and there's no about section or anything. It's a brand new account. And the description, I'll read out in case you're incapable of reading yourself. In the video, the Niji Sanji EN VTuber can be heard slandering one of her fans, making fun of him for being Indian, and calling him various names, insulting another VTuber who supports trans rights, saying all men should die, calling multiple people mentally ill, insulting her fans for not sending her enough money, as well as insulting her company overall. And then he has this kind of, I'm assuming it's a guy, I'll just say he, it probably isn't he, but yeah, deal with it. This audio comes from conversations inside of individual games, so there's a lot of game sounds top of the audio that couldn't be removed. I haven't watched the rest of it, I've only watched the first 30 seconds, but I think this channel is suspicious, obviously. They've came out of the blue and they've posted this dangerous video with... like, there's evidence. There's a lot of evidence, but I think it can be discredited. I don't know, like, the source of the audio, who recorded it. So she was assumedly not streaming. Maybe she was... There's a few conversations where she's with a friend. I don't know if the friend was recording. It says for inside of games as well. And there's game sound. If they were in like a Discord chat or something, I'm not too versed in Discord because I have no friends, but I don't believe there would be game sound. So I'm assuming they're using game chat. But from what I heard, the audio didn't sound very game chatty like. But it seems really fucking weird to be to talk to your friend in game chat. So maybe like a completely random person recorded it. Like they just heard this person and was like, hang on, this person sounds familiar. I'm like, record this, and then fucking blackmail them or some shit. But yeah, and let's not be around the bush. Let's actually listen to this. Let me crank the audio up a bit. I don't know. I want you to actually be able to hear it.
Okay, I'm just saying.
It has subtitles, in fairness. So the color of the subtitles links with who's saying what as well. So the accused is talking to her friend about one of her fans named Epic, who's Indian, and this is I have listened to this bit, and yeah, it goes 0 to 100 really fucking quick.
So like,
I don't know if I should talk over this or not. I really don't like React content. It's boring for me. It's probably not boring for you because this is fucking wild, but I see in the background, like there is like an ambience, like a fan or like an air conditioning or something in the background, but it doesn't really sound like a game. But her friend said like, don't be rude, so her friend was trying to... I don't know if there's like any like subliminal messages there, like being like, hey, you know, like I'm recording this or streaming this, but the friend, I don't want to like say anything that's gonna like, I don't like making assumptions with little evidence, but no, her friend was like, you know, just stop being rude, essentially. So there's that. Yeah, so that's the fucking that's the first thing that's like absolutely fucking mental.
I hate Epic and I hate his kind, so.
Yeah, that was such like as a person that says some fucking out of pocket shit a lot. When I've never even like said something that mental. And whenever I do say something that's like proper controversial or dodgy, I like to think I say it in a tone that makes it obvious that I am not really lying, but I'm either deliberately playing into something or I'm clearly joking. And 9 times out of 10, because I don't trust anyone, I always like say that I'm joking, or I acknowledge the fact that it's fucked. But she sounds so fucking sincere.
Oh, I hate Epic and I hate his kind. So
There isn't like any awkward laugh or chuckle afterwards to kind of suggest there's humor behind it. It's like a straight serious sentence. And I really don't like. This is probably such a really dumb idea of me doing this, but my friends found it funny, so we're doing it, I guess. It is fun to do like investigative stuff, but like I said, I want to say that obviously you have to take everything with like a massive like grain of salt. There's over the next few days, I imagine this is going to develop a lot. I believe she's already released an apology, which we'll also be having a look at. What I will do, just to remind myself, absolutely butchered that, but whatevs. But I'm just gonna have this up here, just so I can remember, because I will forget if not. But no, I'm just doing this because I can, because I'm an irrelevant guy, and no one cares about my opinions, so I can just have fun trying to get to the bottom of this, and that's all it is. I don't know this person, so I like to think there's no bias there. But no, I'm trying to point out the fact that I think the video is suspicious in the fact that it's came from a random account out of the blue that was literally just created, and it doesn't credit its sources or anything. But I think that the rabbit hole goes a lot deeper than this, even just in the few hours. There's more and more stuff that's coming out. So, but anyway, let's watch some more, shall we?
Ever since, I feel like
See, the friend, like, didn't acknowledge that bit. Like she, Twisty earlier said something, and the friend was like, "Don't be rude," and then she says something even more fucking absurd, and then the friend, I don't know if she's trying to change the subject or what.
Because he stopped sending stuff.
And this bit I didn't really understand either.
No. Like porn.
So I don't. So this Indian fan was sending Twisty's friend porn, and the way she's talking about it, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Like, what type of porn? Like nudes? Like porn of himself? Porn, like legal porn, illegal porn? Why is he sending it to her friends, and why is she bringing it up? Is she trying to be like? Maybe, I'm assuming the natural response would be to be highly uncomfortable that the fact that a stranger online is sending you fucking porn. So maybe she then went to, like, obviously the friend then went to Twisty and talked about it, and then she's assumed that Twisty's then spoken to him, and that's why she's no longer receiving it. But that doesn't intrinsically seem to be the case.
Bear or Epic? I don't remember
No,
saying anything to Epic, but I probably have called it. I've definitely called him a creep, but I don't know how recent.
See, that's obviously, like I said, there's so many blotchy kind of sections, but it seems like obviously she's definitely like said some like racist shit. Saying it's one thing to say like I don't like him, and then to add I don't like his kind is such a fucking like really just 0 to 100. Like goddamn. But I think that this Epic person, in fact, isn't very epic. It seems like he's definitely not some sort of angel. He seems to be some sort of. This is complete just assumption from this one little bit. So I'm just trying to. I don't even know what the fuck I'm trying to do, honestly. I'm just kind of talking out loud to try and understand what we're seeing, even though you can clearly just analyze it much better than I can. But no. So there's, from my understanding from this very brief, sketchy 50-second clip we've seen so far, this Epic person is clearly a big fan of Twisty, and they clearly like know who he is, and they clearly talk. I don't know if he's like a mod or something, but they have a dynamic in which they know each other, and then Epic has then gone to Twisty's friend and has definitely overstepped many lines in sending porn and shit, which the friend clearly found she was uncomfortable by, and rightfully so. So then she went to Twisty to try and get it sorted, and Twisty acknowledges the fact that he's a creep. So there's definitely no
What's
innocence
happening?
in this
I
drama.
definitely haven't spoken to him in months.
I haven't spoken to him in months. I don't know when this was recorded either. So just because it was posted today obviously means it didn't happen today. This could be a month-old conversation. It could be 6 months. I have no idea if this was before her hiatus or after. It doesn't specify.
Epic is like attached to my she model.
I think so too.
Cause it was like,
I think he's a pedophile and an
I
Indian.
cannot wait to meet him.
See, the pedophile thing's one thing, but the Indian thing is like such an unnecessary additional comment. I don't know that the friend mentioned a model, so I'm assuming she's also a VTuber. And she said that he was attached to the model. I don't know where the pedophile comment's coming from. If the model is like Lolicon or something, but I think it's I don't know. Maybe this is a hot take, but it seems a bit well, it seems a bit hypocritical to have a VTuber model of like a child or what's a lolly that's like it's portrayed as a child, and then to kind of call people pedophiles that like I don't know, man. It's a bit sketchy on both bits, but I have absolutely no idea like how fucked it gets, So we need more evidence to really. But even if he is pedophilic, you should judge people based on their actions, and not like something like race. You can degrade someone for being an actual pedophile if you have proof. But obviously to come after him because he's Indian or supposedly Indian is not the way. I mean, she's clearly angry, and perhaps rightfully so, because it seems like she's potentially being harassed, or at least she's not having a great time with this particular individual. But there's so many other things you could come at him for being a creep or a pedophile, which she did bring up, but she really drives home the race and the kind of the ethnicity thing, which wasn't great. And then there's this guy in the background as well. There's a guy in the background saying, I cannot wait to meet him IRL. I don't know. I have no idea who this fucker is that's just appeared. I don't know if he's trying to be one of those like white knights. It's like, oh, don't worry, I will protect you, my queen. I won't let no creeps come to you. I will absolutely knock his lights out if I see him in real life. I don't know if he's trying to be some hard man or if he's like a friend who's genuinely concerned. Those are basically two sides of the same coin.
Should have like a little meet and greet.
Is that threatening though or not?
he's really like she.
A meet and greet.
Is Epic living?
Yeah, why?
I swear to God, if he shows up to my meet and greet, I'm gonna kill myself. I'm not even kidding.
Wait, why? Why?
Okay, because now the guy seems slightly like, I don't know. I don't think it was aggressive. I think he was being sincere when he was like, "Oh yeah, I can't wait to meet this guy IRL." So there seems to be some sort of meet and greet that was gonna happen, IRL, which is already a bit sketchy, especially when you're a VTuber.
Maybe, I don't know.
I don't know how far it is from him, but I feel like solely to piss me off, that is something he would do.
And I can meet him there. It'll be perfect.
No.
I still don't know what that means though,
It's not meeting him.
because that sounded more fucking aggressive again.
I don't know.
Can bond over a mutual obsession.
Bond over a mutual obsession. But is this guy, like, good or bad? No, I don't know. He seems like a potentially irrelevant third party, but I'm not sure.
Oh my god.
You can tell who he is because the stench of brown will just be all over the place.
That is mental. Is that like an awkward laugh of like I'm gonna laugh because I don't really agree with it, but it'll be awkward if I don't laugh? Or is that a laugh like that's legitimate funny? But
Fucking curry, and you'll know it's him.
yeah, so those comments are obviously a wee bit concerning.
He smells like curry.
And then the friend definitely seems to be less comfortable about that.
Really?
Those comments.
Okay, Epic just messaged me.
There's so many better, like I said, there's so many better ways of dealing with it. If you're pissed off of a human, there's so many insults you can do that doesn't go into a thing. I think when it's different when you're like a big popular VTuber as well. You gotta be extra careful with this stuff. But yeah, there were so many options that she could have chose
People
from,
like Epic and Bear should honestly die.
and there was some
Epic is literally just a fucking parasocial creep.
See that, like, the parasocial creep thing seems to have some credibility. If this guy really is messaging this VTuber and her friends and sending porn and shit and just constantly harassing them, then yes, by all means, he's a parasocial creep. If, like I said, if there is concrete evidence to support that fact. So I don't think that there's anything wrong with that statement, because it's just a fact. And trying to flirt with VTubers, this seems interesting.
Because he cannot have sex IRL.
I mean, that is, like... It's pretty funny. Like, it's hard to navigate this using my own humor, and then also trying to be like, oh, I'm a professional VTuber. Well, not professional, but you know, when something's immortalized online, it doesn't matter if it gets like 1 view or like 100 views. It has the it has impact, or has the ability to have impact. So that's why I'm trying to navigate this in a in an interesting way. Like I said, it's just a terrible idea for me to do this. This is not my like usual content to just be like doing drama. I hate all that lot. I don't like talking about it, and I definitely don't like react things. But this is such a fucking crazy case that I thought I had to. But I think if the insults are justified, then they're justified. I think it's I think some people will have an issue. I think the main thing she's having a thing is slandering one of her fans. It seems to be the thing, because this is obviously meant to be a degrading video. There's no other way of looking at it. This person's clearly out to destroy her reputation. Whether, like, we don't know who this person could be. The person in the fucking video. It could be the Epic guy they're talking about. I have no idea who this fucker is. So they you know, it could be for like, it could be truthful, but it could be for like nefarious means at the same time, you know. But I think obviously the audio's definitely been said, and I don't think you could play the AI card. AI is pretty decent, but I don't think I don't think it's that decent. I think it would be more compelling if this audio is supposedly taken from games, if they had the gameplay as well, because it's just a static image, so it's easier to manipulate audios to cut things and stuff. I'm not that clued up on that stuff, so I'll leave that for someone else that'll undoubtedly go into that. But no, I think you obviously need to take into consideration that this person has taken audio, not shown its source, and has spliced. Maybe splice is an incorrect term, but has probably done something. Also, there's a Pyrocynical video down here. Is that anything? Horrible streamer tragedy 3 hours ago. I wonder if that's related or not. I mean, there's always fucking horrible streamer shit. Tragedy actually sounds like it's unrelated. Although this is like, it depends on your definition of tragedy and all the clickbait bullshit that all the trigger words people use. But anyway, so yeah, one of the big things seems to be slandering one of her fans. That seems to be one of the takeaways, like, oh, this person talks shit about her fans, which is valid, absolutely valid. However, he does appear to be a bit of a weird fan. He definitely seems to be like a parasocial creep, essentially, you know. They call him a pedophile. I have no way at the moment of validating or devalidating those claims, so we're just gonna set that aside, you know. We'll save that in the extra deck. But from what they've talked about of sending porn, yeah, there's definitely... I think it's valid, especially if they're pissed off. You know, they clearly don't like the guy because he's done things that has made them not like him. So I don't think slandering one of her fans is a big thing. They are slandering a fan, but I think it's kind of deserved. But the slander to do with, like, the haha, no sex, virgin, fucking creep. Those type of words get thrown around all the time, and they don't really mean a lot, and they seem to have some weight. However, the next bit, obviously making fun of him being Indian, that is obviously the fucked bit. Calling him various names, it depends on the name. You can call someone a fucker or a cunt or a twat or a bitch. Pedophile is more of a weighty one online. So yeah. But the main takeaway right now is the race thing. Also, you can hear the game a lot in the background. I don't recognize what that game is. I'm sure someone will. It's probably League or something.
He's obsessed with
Something
streamers.
Neverfall.
No, I think he's just lonely, I guess.
No, he's a fucking loser. He is a manipulative loser
Yeah, the friend definitely seems to be a bit more compassionate.
who doesn't even send you money, so you should drop him.
Yeah, that I mean, I think
Who doesn't even
I
send
think
money.
you could. That has the ability to be humorous. I could probably say that in a way that would make that humorous, but the fact that she throughout this whole entire video she remains the same tone, so it's impossible to detect jokes or sarcasm or anything of the sort. It seems like she's deadly serious throughout the whole thing. I mean, I'm just some random fucking like British twink, so I can't psychoanalyze anyone. It's just an observation that anyone can make. But it suggests the mentality that she's like very money driven, which fucking, I mean, it's a VTuber. They're all fucking money driven, really, aren't they? I mean, who isn't nowadays? But it suggests the idea that if he did send money, it would be more acceptable, or it should be more tolerant to it. Which, I mean, yeah, take from that what you will. I mean, it says a bit about the personality and stuff. You're more willing to let stuff go if there's money involved.
You should drop him.
He's like lonely.
We shall see.
He told me his brother died.
Yeah, but the other friend definitely seems to be more considerate. Obviously, like calling him lonely, but it's an observation in the fact that he's clearly seeking comfort, and the fact that his brother's supposedly dead. Twisty called him manipulative, so I mean, it could be a lie. You know, maybe his brother's not dead. Maybe it's like a sympathy thing. No way of being able to verify that right now.
What is your
Who cares is an interesting one. What's this? Twisty then rants about Niji Sanji and other VTubers, particularly one that has trans rights in her biography on Twitter. So this is a different section then,
Wait, what?
or not? I don't know if this is one continuous take or not. I think it has more validity if it's one continuous take without edits, because obviously without edits you can just say, oh well, you know, it's original. But if it's been spliced together and there's been cuts and stuff, you think, maybe some of this. It's hard to take this out of context though. Some of the stuff she says, regardless of context, is just a bit, you know.
You should get her free tickets as a birthday present.
I don't even think I can get my health tickets
All the
Why
way.
not?
because my company hates me.
See that is valid again though. Insulting her company overall down here. I mean, it's Niji Sanji, bro. I just absolutely bitch slapped my mouse. Poor mouse. But yeah. I don't think insulting the. I mean, I don't know. Niji Sanji seems. I'm not super clued up with it, but they seem to be like pretty ruthless. All the VTube corporate things really are. But I'm assuming that there's this meet and greet, and she's struggling to afford tickets to it or something, and her own company won't like provide those for her. I have no idea the contracts and shit. I'm assuming there's some sort of like NDA in which she's not meant to be slandering them. But I like I said, I'm not super knowledgeable about that. I personally don't really have an issue with that. I think it's valid that, you know, if you're struggling to afford tickets and your company wants you to do something and they're not like paying for it. But there's all sorts of fucking bullshit that I'm not versed enough to get into. But I don't think that's personally like a big deal. We'll see how it continues though.
Off I go.
Wife, the new fucking Brave group wave is so
Brave group
bad.
wave?
I'm actually like shocked.
What is
I
that?
don't know how the fuck they
What
got in.
is a brave?
Genuinely, it's like the worst I've ever seen.
What does that
Like
mean?
the one girl. she-
Oh, so this is a new this is a new VTube thing. It's like a wave of VTubers, is it? And this is what they're known. What's Brave Group Virtual? Maybe onto something here. Is this also Niji Sanji, or is this a different? Like, what is this? Unlimited, whatever it is, a Japanese holding company dedicated to creation product of animated content. I'm assuming this is the right one. Because they manage VTubers and shit. So I don't think this is within Niji Sanji. This seems to be its own thing. This is, I'm assuming this is some of their VTubers. VTuber agent. Oh no, this is a different I don't even fucking know, bro. But so she's chatting shit about a different group of VTubers, it would appear.
She literally, I need to send you her videos. I'm not even being mean, wife. Like, I'm genuinely like shocked and kind of pissed off. I don't even get a fucking call back. And this girl, who literally the worst I've ever seen. I'm not kidding. Like, it's bad.
Wait,
She
what
has
are you
like
talking about?
trans rights in her Twitter bio.
She seems pretty tilted about that. The worst I've ever seen. Definitely a bit of
Which I
an
feel like should be a red
exaggeration.
flag for any VTuber company if you're talking about that stuff publicly.
Well, you know what? To be honest with you, whether it's a sad truth or not, there's a degree of truth in that statement. However, there's clearly a lot of hate and prejudice behind it. But obviously, yeah, trans rights is definitely controversial, and as a VTuber, you definitely don't want controversy. Although, you know, you could argue any publicity is good publicity. But if you're like a corpo trying to hire people, especially if you're more from like a Middle Eastern thing, a lot of these companies are, there's certain religious beliefs and other various beliefs about it. So it's actually, honestly, it's not an outrageous take to say that like being public with trans rights. I want red flag is probably a bit of a too harsh of a thing to say, but it's risky because it's going to bring hate and it's going to bring unwanted attention. That's just the world for you, I guess. But so that statement isn't bad per se, but obviously her saying that she's like the worst of the worst and shit because she has that in her bio, and I'm sure it's only going to get worse from that.
Wait,
That's
And she doesn't really stream, but she uploaded some YouTube videos, and
Wait, are
there's
they, like-
really
are
terrible
they-
covers.
well, that's just
are
mean.
they, like Niji Nui?
No, Brave Girl.
Yeah, so it's a different group,
Oh.
and she's just trashing them, probably out of jealousy or something. Maybe because their group gets treated better than she does within her own corpo.
She is for the new wave that's gonna debut soon.
I don't know, maybe
Just
it's
calling her
because
out for
I saw
absolutely no
something
reason, with
on-
no previous
I don't know
beef.
what the fuck they would see in her. Like, they must be blind.
Yeah, that's just mean, bro.
I don't know, it's objective. Okay.
No, like, objectively, it's really bad. I will send you it, and you'll understand. Like,
I,
it is just very bad.
okay, that's why it's because the company, like, they really want to make money, right? So they're looking for people that can do the lewd ASMR.
I don't even think this girl can do lewd ASMR, or do you mean...
But like, are you not? Are you not like this? This has a chance to be like incredibly hypocritical because I fucking swear 90% of her YouTube channel was just ASMR. Whether or not it's lewd, but it's got an anime girl that's always fucking lewd. What was that? Hang on one sec. That thumbnail looked cool. FNAF animat. Oh, well, I'll watch that later. Seems interesting. Anyway, and now I'm being a fucking dumb cunt. Oh, that was interesting as well. Are you suspended? Twitty finally returns and explains the current situation. This is 2 minutes. We can watch this quick.
I mean, ghost noises insert here. So I thought that we could eat cake, even though it's not my birthday. Before I lose topic, let's get the.
This was 5 months ago, obviously during the just at the start of the suspension, really.
I said it during Goose Goose Talk, but still technically the hiatus not all over. Hi, I'm still on hiatus. I feel really bad. I should have worded my birthday stream tweet better because everybody's like,
Right,
welcome
I
back,
see.
and I'm like, oh god, I feel so bad, but I didn't want to like, reply on Twitter and be like.
It still fits in with the timeline.
Because
So.
I feel like it's gonna sound mean.
So 6 months ago, she went on a hiatus, but then she had a birthday stream 5 months ago. And then she went back on hiatus.
Still on hiatus, but it's okay because we have 2 days to spend.
We're
it.
gonna
Also,
dive into
I'm
that
just gonna
more.
Say it. Okay, maybe it's stupid to say it because like I know a lot of you guys aren't stupid, but maybe you're worrying about it, right? but like I see under all my comments, bro, under all my posts, and you know, I guess people are saying that like I still look at my account, okay? Even though I'm on hiatus.
There's not a lot here. It's
Guys,
rambling
I'm still,
more than I
like,
do.
looking around and seeing what you're up to, but holy shit, bro, I'm not fucking suspended. I keep seeing people saying that, and like no.
It doesn't
I'm
seem
just
like
on
she was
hiatus. I've seen
suspended,
people being
because
like,
all of her
"Oh my
shit's
God,
still up, and you would have imagined they would have
she
absolutely
types
just
English normally,
deleted
it's
her,
not her.
sent her to
I
the
can
void, the
speak
shadow
English
realm.
Sometimes, okay? I can English sometimes. Not most of the time, but you know, I feel like if it's an important tweet,
I
probably
don't know, this
should
video's
be
kind of
like,
misleading.
"Yeah,
They're not really
but if you
explaining her
don't
current
worry,
situation.
okay, don't,
I mean,
like,
they did say
stress
she's
out.
not
I'm still here.
suspended,
I'm
but she hasn't
still
given the real
here.
reason.
I'm literally on Twitter all day, every day. Like,
And if you can't explain why you're on
but,
hiatus, then there's
I
definitely
figured you
something.
guys, like, understood that, but I know
Yeah, there's
maybe,
not
like,
there.
for me,
Anyway, that's that. Let's back to this, I guess.
You're talking about.
Oh no, I'm just talking about the serial person.
Oh yeah.
Good ASMR.
Oh yeah, I forgot to actually look at the Lude ASMR, but either way, she fucking does Lude ASMR, give or take. So.
She's not cute in her own way, wife. I'm not kidding. Like I could not get through this. Like,
But why is she going in on her so bad?
I
It's
cannot
just because of the
believe
trans rights thing, isn't it?
Not even like just being mean because I'm transphobic.
Oh well. Now why the fuck would you say that? why would you say that? It's like you want to get your fucking career just shit on.
Not even like just being mean.
Not even like just being mean because I'm transphobic. What a fucking sentence. Jesus Christ.
Because I'm transphobic.
No,
like,
part of it's that.
No part of it is that.
no, it's not. You watched the video.
I know.
I can't.
Continues to rant about Niji Sanji, her VTuber model, her fans, and men in general. So the only reason she was ripping in on this random VTuber that did absolutely nothing wrong, from what I've seen, they had no prior engagement. She just appeared one day, gonna be like a new debut in a group, and because she happened to have trans right things on her Twitter, Twisty went absolute fucking apeshit at her, and then straight up admitted she's transphobic, which is like, you know, that's that you can't really regardless of context. There's no way lawyer Kyle over here can defend that. You know, trying to stay as neutral as possible. You know, admitting the strengths and the weaknesses of both things. But that is, you kind of dug your own grave there. That's.
I think it's cute. Well,
That's
your
fucked.
legs are really long though.
They're so. It doesn't make sense because the upper like half of my body is so compact, and then you just have the longest fucking legs on the planet. Like it just doesn't make any sense.
Seems to be complaining about her
Kinda
model.
look like me. Cause I have like the.
Assuming it's just obviously just a
Remember,
corporate
like,
model.
Raccoon wanted me to have like.
Oh yeah, he
really
wanted you to have long,
legs.
sexy legs.
This is the part where she
Yeah,
starts
but
complaining about the
I think I-
sexualization of women, and
It's
then to do
literally
with
only
men.
because
I imagine.
their audience are all fucking Twitter trannies.
Twitter
and
trannies.
They don't want to piss them off, which is fucking weird.
What does that even
because None of
mean?
those people watch me anyways, so why should I care about like them being pissed off? Like it's so stupid.
Why should they care about you being pissed off?
Then why'd they hire me?
The guy seems that's a valid point, I guess, but
For fun.
Like maybe
Still a
they
bit-
could've
yeah,
looked
still
into
a bit
Twitter and like realized that the
missing
girl
too
who
much
talked about wanting
context
to be
and
a
knowledge
lolly
here.
wanted to be a lolly. I don't know. Like, that just
I mean,
kind
I
of
feel like
seems
it was-
weird to me.
I feel like it's pretty obvious that they knew that, based on what they were talking to you about.
Okay, no, it's because they want
they
to
just-
hire you, right? But then they're like,
Nothing to do with
Okay,
hiring.
fine.
Fucking
We
lie to me
can't
pretty
do
much.
it.
They literally just lie to me.
no, it's because they wanted to hire you.
Yeah, so they lied.
It's fine. You can get a lolly model next time.
They're never gonna give me a fucking lolly model. Like,
So it seems like she got misled, or she's saying she got misled to do with something to do with her model. I don't really know.
I'm so mad.
And hang on, let me
They're
back
nev-
up a bit.
It's
Something
fine. You
about
can
fucking-
get a lolly model next time.
They're never gonna give me a fucking lolly model. Like, it makes me so.
It makes you mad because you won't get a lolly model, and yet you just called Epic a pedophile. Make it make sense. Why does she clearly seems to want a lolly model, which is peculiar. Let's dive in
And
deeper.
Everybody wonders why I don't want to stream. Like, my fans are fucking retarded, and they're upset that I.
Well, I mean, there's certain people that can get away with saying retard. I found out I'm one of them. I mean, obviously, there's a lot of people that don't like the word. I can understand. I mainly use the word on myself, to be fair, self-deprecatingly. But there's a few ways you can tackle a word like that. If you're using it to, I think it's okay, even like as an insult. I mean, I call my friends retarded all the time. we all do, you know. It's just how the friend group is. You know who's comfortable with the word and who isn't comfortable with the word. But if you're using the word as it's intended, if that makes sense, deliberately against to diminish and to degrade someone that it applies to, someone that well, I'm trying to think of a good word to use here. Someone with like a neurological difficulty or something, for example, and then you know, calling them retarded holds a bit more weight, I feel, compared to if you're just kind of calling anyone, including yourself, it. But once again, it depends on the person. I don't want to go on to say like a based person, but there's people where you can just like say the word to them and they don't give a fuck, and there's people where you can say the word to them and they get like really angry. So I don't have an issue personally with her saying retarded. What I do have an issue with is just straight up saying her fans are retarded. I think you can have like a joke and shit. I think if you had like a dynamic with a specific, like not really like maybe like a friend dynamic with like a specific person in your chat or something. I don't know, but I think universally calling your whole entire fan base retarded and being completely sincere about it, and then saying you don't want to stream because of them, yeah, that's definitely problematic. That's definitely another thing to put, you know, tick off your bingo list. Insulting your fans and saying you're transphobic are definitely one way to speedrun your career dying.
Have you ever considered it?
Hang on, let me go back and watch it.
And they're upset that I spam collabs all day.
Spam collabs all day. Why are you spamming collabs all day? Is that because your corpo's making you do it, or is it like Cinder where you're spamming collabs because you profit off of them? Could not tell you.
Because none of you like send me any money at all.
That's also a big thing.
Like, it's just crazy to me that they don't understand.
So she's not happy that they're not paying her, which is also a pretty big red flag. And it kind of goes full circle, really. This shit's like a fucking Ouroboros. Not really, I just like the word Ouroboros and it made me sound intelligent. But earlier she was concerned with money, constantly bringing it up like, oh, it's okay, we can excuse actions if they pay you, you know. If Epic, you know, Epic wasn't paying or giving her money, so you should drop him. But it suggests that if he did give you money, then you wouldn't drop him. So she seems to be very money crazed, and wanting money from her fans. So just a cash cow, really, aren't they? She doesn't give a shit about them. It's all just for the fame and fortune, like it is with so many people. But yeah, man, and she doesn't want to stream because she has a toxic relationship with her fans and she wants more money. Which is, yeah, sometimes it's scary to think that people have this type of, like, ideology, I guess. Because it's like, well, I don't know, you always need to do content creation for fun. No one does it for fun anymore, no one. But, first things first, it's just meant to be entertaining. I've got nothing better to do with my life, so I thought we would fuck around today, you know? And we have something to celebrate, so it's good fun. And we had a grand old time with the tier list. And then we kind of did a 180 and started talking about depressing shit, really. But I mean, there's still like it's fun for me to analyze because I've always been into like detective shit. Not that it's detective at all. I'm just making that up. But it is fun to kind of try and unravel and package it. I've always liked testing my you know levels of deductment. That was not the right statement to say, but you know, I always like trying to deduce things. But no, I wish I could say if you're only in it for the fame and fortune, you're not going to go anywhere, but it's just not true. It's all luck based. There's so many people undeserving of it that make it big, and there's so many people that are deserving of it that don't make it big, and vice versa, of course. There's so many deserving people that do deserve all their success. But you're off to a bad start because you're only going to be number obsessed. Whenever you make content, you're only going to be looking at how much money you make. And when you don't make enough money, you get pissed off. When you get pissed off, you're not going to make good content. And you don't make good content, so you don't get money. So it's self-destructive, you know? And even if, like, it's never enough with these people. You know, once you get, like, 100 views, well, it's not good enough because then you need 1,000 views. And then you hit 1,000 views, but it's not good enough because you need 10,000 views. And same with money. Every subsequent stream has to perform better than the last, and then you get pissed off if it doesn't, and it's just so self-destructive. And it almost it applies to basically everyone. It's just kind of like a human thing, you know? Because even if you like originally did it for fun, and because you put so much love and passion into your videos, and one finally blows up, normally one video blows up and then it just goes back to normality. You know, let's say you post 99 videos and they all get 1,000 views, and then you post your 100th video and it gets 100,000 views. You then may naturally or rationally try and think, well, maybe my next video will also get 100,000 views. And then it goes back down to getting like 1,000 views, and it kind of maybe pisses you off. And then it goes to show how you know, even when you're not doing it for the views or the money, you can kind of get corrupted by it, so to speak. But yeah.
And like the connection, and I
It's
mean,
bad, man.
them because they're all like underage kids, and that's Niji Sanji's fan base.
But like now you're calling your fan base underage kids, but you also called one of your fans a pedophile. But you can't be a pedophile if you're underage. And then they said Niji Sanji's fan base is kids, which is a statement that it could be completely innocent, or it could also be completely fucked. But you can't. How can you call your fan base like Epic, who was a fan, a pedophile, and then also call them underaged? And then why are you so concerned on getting a lolly model if your whole fan base is underaged? And if your whole fan base is underaged, why the fuck do you expect money from them if none of them can fucking work or have a penny to their name? It's all a bit silly.
But why do you want to pander to those people?
Because there's a lot of kids on the planet. It can be relatively wholesome to do some kids stuff. There's some fun kids content. No, not really anymore. But there's been a lot of good kids shows, or like kind of teen shows. You know, even like adults can enjoy.
There was ugly fucking models that they pay nothing for.
I mean, it's not an ugly model though, is it? I mean, look at me. I mean, I think my model's pretty fucking cool, but it's nowhere near as advanced. I have no toggles or facial tracking, and I spent over 100 clamshells on mine, and they're saying they paid nothing for. I mean, surely they've got to be paying around $1,000, surely, unless they have connections or are just forcing people at gunpoint to fucking make them. But any sort of fucking VTuber model that's full body, I'm assuming she's full body, or has facial tracking. I mean, we saw some clips earlier of her. It's a decent model. It's got to be pricey.
Take all of our income.
It's you know, I mean, taking all of your income. I know Niji Sanji's known for having some malpractice. It's pretty dodgy. That's a whole different can of worms, really. Taking all of your income, there may actually be some legitimacy behind that. I imagine there is.
Weird.
So I can see why you'd be
Be
pissed around that.
You're so fucking annoying. Why are all men just men?
I mean, I personally don't really care about that. But it seems like a lot of people are making a big thing about that. There was something in here. Calling multiple people mentally ill. Like I said, it affects different people. Different people differently. I don't want to use the term concern trolling. I mean, I didn't even know that was a thing until I watched an iDubbbz video about it recently. But it's tricky because I personally, like, when you say something like all men are mentally ill, there's so many ways for it to be a passing joke or for it to be a harmless comment, and there's so many ways where it can be a dangerous ideology. I think this is probably the latter, judging from her previous track record. Which is where it gets more into the realm of obviously being a problem. But if you want the downfall of someone, you're obviously going to look at the negatives, and that's kind of where the concern trolling comes in. And that's still, we don't know who this person is. If this person may just be some sort of good Samaritan who's neutral and is just trying to bring this to light, but it also could be someone that has it out for this person and is you know, trying to portray things in a specific way to deliberately try and make her look worse. But she's doing a pretty good job of making herself look bad. Even if you edit, like I said, even if you fuck around with this video and edit and clip certain things to get rid of context, it doesn't. You don't need context when you just straight up admit to being transphobic. I mean, yeah, that's like playing Russian roulette, but with a fucking like full auto pistol or some shit, you know, like. But the men comment is
I don't know.
fucking mental breakdown because he thinks that we're actually dating or something. And he messages me and spams me.
It does seem like, in fairness, it does seem she's surrounded by a lot of creepy guys.
Yeah, men are fucking mentally ill, and I think they should all die, honestly.
That's a bit... Oh, it just ends, does it? And then we get a nice little ASMR thing. But, yeah, ending with they should all die is, I still feel like that probably comes from a place of hatred. Or not, like, I don't know. I want to try and give her the benefit of the doubt. And it's clear that she's surrounded by a lot of creepy men that harass her. And it comes with the territory of being a female VTuber, really. But she does play into it. I mean, she doesn't have an issue if they give her money. But, I mean, if all men died, she'd be out of a fucking job. I mean, she's out of a job anyway because she's not been the most intelligent of creatures. But, yeah, but no, if you're, like, stressed out because you're constantly being harassed by men, in the spur of the moment, I could see you know, saying shit like all men are mentally ill or all men should die. So I think you could excuse those because you could just be like, oh, you know, I was just really pissed off at the time. They're not that bad, but no, the other things, you know, like I said, the transphobic thing is the really big one, and also like calling your whole entire fan base retarded, and then also calling them or saying a particular person in your fan base is a pedophile, but then also saying everyone in your fan base is underaged, but then also contradicting that with the fact that you want a lolly model. Like, surely if you wanted a lolly model, it's because you're appeasing to older men trying to get the pedophilic thing going on, which doesn't make sense if they're all underage, and then getting angry that they don't give her enough money, but then you just said they're underage, so they wouldn't even have any money. So there's a lot of conflicting things. Like I said, she could just be pissed off at the time. It sounds like she's got a lot of shit going on. So I think that there's probably not a lot of rational thinking involved. But it really doesn't get as clear as day when it comes to just saying you're straight up transphobic. All the other stuff, I think you could work around. I think it's still bad, and obviously you need to do the whole apology shenanigans, but you could probably manipulate it in a way to just like I said, just be like, oh, you know, I was really pissed off. You know, I'm sorry. You know, pull out your fucking ukulele, and you'll still be fine. But yeah, it really is just a transphobic thing. I know, like I said, also calling all your fans like retarded and shit. There's a few sentences that, regardless of context, are just really alarming and fucked up. Now, do I have her name? There was a Reddit post not too long ago. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of videos already. Hasn't even been that long. Interesting. Anyway, this is maybe the one I was looking at earlier. Oh no, this is just this again. Yeah, the misogyny thing isn't a big deal in my opinion. I don't think that's that serious at all. I think that there's she's also a misogynist who wants all men to die. That isn't a big like the transphobic thing is the big thing. And being bad to her being bad to her audience. I think the misogynist thing is just the cherry on top that people that want her downfall are really like gunning for. I think passively saying something like that isn't that it's not that big of a deal. VTubers being human garbage hiding behind anime shows are not shocking. Yeah, I mean, this is the YouTube drama one, and I know for a fact they have a thing against VTubers. So there's going to be a lot of, you know, shit about here. But anyway. So, yeah. But there wasn't I swear there was like an apology thing somewhere, I thought. Let me go on my actual Reddit and then probably, like, I hope I don't dox myself. It's not that one. It was this one. Oh, no, it wasn't. I thought I had it in my recent, but it doesn't look like it's there. I swear I put it in my recent. I swear. Maybe we'll just put her name in, because I swear I saw that she posted something recently. Maybe it got taken down? I don't have X, so I now refuse to get it. Social media is bad. She's definitely had her fair share of controversies, though. Maybe you got taken down, or maybe I'm just schizophrenic and can't remember. I don't really want to watch other people's content on it, either. That's something I'd rather do in my spare time. I swear she released something. It must have got deleted or something. Let me look at, like, recent stuff, because there's a lot of stuff that's, coming out, like, as we speak. I mean, there's probably just going to be, like, porn or something on here. Probably going to regret this. I never even use these fucking subs. It's all just, like, self-advertising, like, oh, please watch me, give me money. No, we're kind of in the 3 hour... Maybe, I swear I saw something. But maybe I'm just lying to you, or it got removed. We're too many hours back now. There wouldn't be anything there. Maybe let's see how far we can go on X without needing to sign in and dox myself or anything. Probably not very far. I don't even know how half this shit works. In all honesty, oh, why do I have to fucking I don't want to sign in. I don't have an account, and it's a bitch to make one. Yeah, that looks like another dead end. Well, I thought there was more we could explore about that. We're already at the 2 hour mark, but let's, I don't know. Like I said, I didn't really know how I feel about navigating that situation. I feel like I may regret it. Just because I don't feel like I am in a position to we talk about drama. I don't like spreading shit, but I thought it was fun, because I saw the video earlier and my friend sent it to me. I was like, whoa, what the fuck? I really didn't expect some of the absolute bombastic things that are being said. And I was like, okay, let's dive into this on stream, shall we? Because fuck it. I just thought it'd be something different. That's probably just a one-time thing, though. There's fucking... You can already see there's fucking thousands of other content creators that are gonna sink their teeth into it and draw a quick buck from the drama. Anyway, what should we do now? We are at the 2 hour mark, but I kind of want to do something else. The only other thing I really have is fucking more tier list, honestly, I must confess. That's about all I have ready for y'all. I mean, we could navigate more like MTG shit, I guess. I favorited this, but that may actually have sensitive information on it. That may, that may end up not great for me. I mean, I don't even fucking know. I'm just kind of... It's a just chatting stream. We're just chatting about fucking random prices of shit. There's so many, Oh, actually, one thing I do want to do is, Secrets of the Mimic. I should just probably go on Steam, really. There you go. I never use Steam that much. I'm not a big fan of it. How much is it going for? Because it is releasing in 17 hours. Xbox controller support's nice, because I would be dog shit on a... It looks pretty good. Where's the fucking price, though? It's just wish listed. Like I said, I don't use a lot of Steam. I don't even need to really pay attention to this. It's all kind of just lies, so I'm sure my thing will be fine. Am I fucking dumb? Where the fuck is the price for it? It releases in less than 24 hours, and there's... notify by email when wishes items get released or on sale. I may just be blind. How much is it? Yeah, price. Fucking tell me. I have no idea if that's trustworthy. What about... Yeah, PlayStation Store's a bit better. I could get it on PlayStation, I guess. That's not terrible, I suppose. I'm just gonna say no to your cookies. Save 10%, offer ends tomorrow. May have to purchase that soon then. 30 clamshells. Probably not too bad for that. Peggy 12. Honestly, whenever I see like a Peggy 12 of a horror game, it always kind of saddens me. Because I feel like you're so limited. There's so many different ways of doing horror. Outside of, like, you know, the blood and gore and scary things. But I think it's so much more liberating when you just have like a Peggy 18. I the games I just tend to like are just PEGI 18s. I guess I don't know. Not to say it's gonna be bad, but I feel like it could have been cooler if it was PEGI 18. But FNAF's never been about, you know, appealing to like really dark, edgy fucking adults. It's always kind of meant to be like a teen thing. But we'll play that. I don't know if I'll play it tomorrow though. I've got a few things I can do. I may end up playing it tomorrow though, I can't lie. In 17 hours, when would that even be? I mean, let's round it up to... We'll call it 6... No, we'll call it 17 hours and round it up to 1 in the morning. So yeah, it is 6. It's 6 p.m. That it gets released for me. That gives me... How many gigs is it again? Was it like 20 gigs, did it say? I'm kind of plucking that number out of fucking nowhere. It'll be downloaded. If I download it at 6, it'll be ready to stream at night. It does say storage 20 gigs available space, so I'm assuming it's got to be 20 or under. Can't be over, surely. Still suspicious that they're hiding the price. At least I think they're hiding the price. Oh, I'm just dumb. Maybe you need to sign in or some shit. I have fucking no clue how it works. But yeah, maybe we'll play it tomorrow. I mean, obviously it's going to be super hyped and incredibly oversaturated, which never does well. But do we care? No, we're just here to play fun things. Let's look at more fucking... We're just looking at prices. I'm ironically doing my shopping at the moment. That's what we're fucking doing. We're just shopping. Which is not very good, because I'm sure I'm going to dox myself. And show things I'm not meant to be showing. But, you know... I'm just looking at the absolute fucking extortionate prices of all the things I can't afford. Looking at like £100 almost for... in pre-con. I actually kind of wanted, in fairness, but... not spending that much, that's for damn sure. God damn. Crazy stuff. Let's look at collector booster box if we can. I looked at them the other day. Booster box, but whatever, it'll be fine. I mean, fucking 600 clams on eBay. God damn. Fucking 1.3k for Fallout. Just for some fucking cardboard. It's a bit too grand. Look at this fucking Scalper McFuckface here on eBay. Look at this little dweeb. This is probably fucking Wade and everything. Do you even trust this? I don't want to dive further into it. Fuck it, we will. I don't give a shit. Let's clown on this guy more, shall we? 100% positive. How the fuck has that happened? New factory sealed. I mean, presumably it's real, but it could be Wade or something. Located in Lincoln. We could jump this guy and steal their shit. I shouldn't say that, because then knowing my luck, someone will jump them and then they'll pin the blame on me. God, look at these scalpers, bro. Fucking crazy. Unopened, undamaged. Fascinating. It's crazy that people pay these markups, though. The fact that he has, like, 100%... He has really good feedback and 100%, like, reviews or whatever it is. Good eBayer. Item as described. Yeah, 5 times over MSRP. God damn, son. It's sad. Aren't human beings just sad? We really have. I kind of feel like, bad now. I think the first hour was so positive and we were having a grand old time, and then fucking we started talking about all sorts of treacherous things. But maybe we should do more happy things. But I'm kind of I feel like I've done everything I wanted to talk about. Let me have a quick drink. Oh my god, man, I'm fucking hungry, but I got fuck all to eat. But no, I do appreciate 100 subscribers. 102. Wow, that means someone's like subscribed whilst I was doing this. That's crazy. You mad lad. Why would you do that? But it's truly astonishing that like it keeps going up. Like I half expected it to go down, but no, it keeps going up, and it's just good, man. I don't know what to tell you. I do appreciate it. I really didn't think we'd get this far. So clearly doing, I wouldn't say doing something right, but I mean, even a lot of my streams have been getting really nice views as well, like 15 and stuff. Those are fucking like really big numbers. I was like, I really didn't expect Doom to be doing as well as it is. I think it's because I'm a bit late to the party. That I think everyone else has moved off, and yeah, I'm still doing it. But I mean, let's be honest, this one only did well because I put breasts in the title, which wasn't the intention. I thought it was funny, but no, I want to reiterate that I don't give a shit about the money or the fame or whatever you want to call about it. To talk about it, I do it exclusively for fun. But at the same time, when you do something for fun, it only makes it more fun when it does well, I guess. You know, I'd have fun doing it to 0 views, and I have done it to 0 views, and I have fun regardless. But it is a very nice feeling when big number go up. I've said it a few times, but I feel the need to reiterate. You know, whenever you like wake up and it's a new day, and you go on your socials and it's like, oh, big number go. But that's how I feel. So it's pretty cool. Although I don't know how well this stream's gonna go. I think the first hour. Well, to be fair, some people may think, oh shit, he's put Resident Evil Village over Resident Evil 7. Fucking get him, you know, get the pitchforks out. But yeah, that's what it is. It is just a really chill, just fuck around stream. Just thought we'd talk about stuff, and I don't even know what I'll do tomorrow, bro. Whether it'll be more Doom, or whether it'll be Secrets of the Mimic. My phone's going a little insane in the membrane. Is it relevant to the stream? My thumbprint still won't scan. It legit doesn't work ever since that fucking Samsung update, and I don't know why. I'm cracking. Just a bunch of bullshit I don't care about, in all honesty. Fucking whatnot. Fucking, I deinstalled it a while back after I used the £15 credit. But then I reinstalled it because a popular MTG YouTuber called Tolarian Community College tomorrow is doing a giveaway of 5 Final Fantasy collector boxes, and I've never won anything in my life. And I'm a pretty unlucky guy normally, so I don't expect much. But we are a gambler, and it is exclusively, you know, it's free. I'm not losing anything by doing it. So that's my last ditch effort, basically, hoping that like, out of the fucking thousands, and it will be thousands of people watching, that I can get lucky and snag myself a fucking collector booster box. Because wouldn't that be great? Because yeah, I am not spending these prices. I probably wouldn't even. Can I even? What is it? Yeah. Can I even get an MSRP on it? Like, what is the price meant to be? I couldn't tell you. But even without the scalped prices, I still wouldn't pay it. I can afford it, but just because you can afford something doesn't mean you should get it, you know? I think all it is like human beings always want what they don't have, and the second they have it, they take it for granted. And I obviously am a victim to this. And I'll tell you what will fucking happen if I did buy it. I'd buy it, open it, get fuck all, realise I just spent over 500 quid on fucking 12 packs of cardboard, be very sad and regret my life choices. And that's what would happen. But you know what else we can do? I did want to do more. I just wanted to look at decks, honestly. I had a tab open earlier before stream. It was something to do with popular decks. I wonder if I go into Commander. There's a way of checking. Oh, maybe this is it. Ah, this was what I was on earlier. Because obviously, all the popular ones are going to be the new ones. So Y'shtola has her own like commander precon. But the irony is, let's get I don't know how to say her, like how to spell her name. I'm just gonna put it like that. I'll probably be alright. I want to see prices for it. Really, it was about £100, was it not? I mean, that one's even more scalped. That one's sus as fuck. There's some sort of scam going on there. I'm gonna Fucking hell, fire. I'm gonna call it £100, I think. And then let's look at this one if we convert it. Big up Opera GX being able to do that. I mean, they're basically the same in fairness. However, this one is probably better, I imagine. Like I said, I play extremely casual MTG. I play exclusively for fun with really jank decks. I'm a lot more knowledgeable on Yu-Gi-Oh! You know, I can you can give me any card in existence and I can make a fucking playable deck. I mean, some of them are obviously like dog shit. Like you know, I can't make you be top 500 with an Ojimar. But I know the meta and I know a lot of the cards and I know a lot of the I don't know. I've just kept up to date with it. But MTG, I've had phases with it. So you know, I've been playing it for over a decade, but it's been very on and off. But I'm taking it more seriously now that I actually have a fucking job and can afford dumb shit. It fucking pisses me off though, because I recently, not too long ago, a few months back, I built an Avacyn deck, and it took so long to orchestrate a lad's MTG game that even before I used my Avacyn deck, I made a fucking Edgar/Sorin tribal deck, and then we finally played, and I fucking lost both times because I got hard targeted when I pulled out my Avacyn deck, which, you know, is right. You know, that is what it is. I kind of expected as much. And then I got shit on when I used my Edgar deck because I just kept fucking bricking. However, I did allow my friend to use my Avacyn deck when I was using my Edgar deck, and he fucking popped off with my deck. And I had a lot of fun just helping him navigate, because that's how casual we are. I was literally like telling him what to do and helping him. Like I was looking at his cards and everything. Like we didn't give a fuck. Which I know a lot of people go like, "Oh, you know, for playing Magic, I'm having fun, more fun than you, poor boy, spending over $1,000 on Magic cards." Which means you're probably actually not a poor boy and you probably make more than me. But still, fuck you. But what was I saying? I went on a tangent there. But no, he ended up winning. But he obviously, Avacyn has a lot of destructive spells, so he was like killing me in the process. So that's fair. But I didn't really get to use either of my decks because I got shut down immediately and died within the first few turns of Avacyn, and well, yeah, died within the first few turns of using Edgar. So, however, my Avacyn deck did win. It just wasn't me that was using it. But no, that was a lot of money. It was a lot of fun, but I don't know if the fun correlates to the money, but it's probably just a fucking addiction at this point, honestly. But man, I'm having so many. It's just there's so many fun fucking decks, and Y'shtola's a really cool commander as well. But we just fuck around, and I try and get them as cheap as I can. So, you know, if there's like some really expensive land cards, I would just replace it with a default land, which is a huge downgrade, but saves me a lot of money. But it doesn't seem to be anything super expensive. There's a lot of lands, but there's not anything that's super duper extortionate on here. And obviously it's all in dollars, which I don't give a fuck about, because when you convert it to pounds, you do lose a sizable sum, to be fair. But this is the exact same price as the precon. Now, once again, like I said, I forget what's in the precon, but you would assume this is better. Or is it, actually? Or is this just the precon? No, it's definitely not the precon. Sometimes people like copy and paste it. I was just seeing... There's some really cool... I really like the arts. Like that. That's a really nice art right there. What was that? 14? 14, yeah. It's largely Final Fantasy cards. I know a lot of them have been reprinted with like different shit and but so far it's all been. I mean, obviously, Swords of Plowshares is like a pretty relatively common staple, if you want to call it that, but it's all in Final Fantasy art, which is fascinating. Yeah, everything is, which is fascinating. That initially made me wonder if this is just the precon. It may just be the precon. That'd be fucking hilarious. Because it's all just FF cards. Maybe this is just the precon. It's called Spellcraft by Anonymous, though, which makes me think it's like upgraded or something. Maybe it is. But I know this card is in the original, to be fair. Maybe it's just a slightly upgraded precon. Let's see if we can find, like, how many dollars is this? 135. Let's see if we can find, like, yeah, you know what? This is that probably was just the pre-con we were looking at. So it's the same price to buy it as singles as it is to, voice crack, as it is to, get the pre-con at the moment. Interesting that the price has plummeted a lot, but that is because you've been able to pre-order these for so long, so you can't really trust that. It's not in many cheap decks actually. But she's a really fun commander, which made me want to fuck around with her a bit. Mono Black Sephiroth. Cool, fuck me, that's an expensive card. For real? Oh wait, I just realized the price. Fucking wrap up. However, most of that, yeah, like most things, like, you know, get rid of this fucking Imperial Seal, you just save yourself $100. Get rid of this land, save yourself $100. You don't need them when you're playing. It's got fucking Shieldred in it, you know? This is clearly, I don't know if it's CDH, but it's clearly someone that really badly wants to win. So yeah, you could easily cheapen that out, but Sephiroth is actually quite an expensive chap. I doubt there's going to be any. I don't know what the prices are going to be like, if they're going to stagnate or not. Probably not. Like, is it better to buy all your Final Fantasy singles now at launch, or is it better to wait a bit? Because they may go down, but normally they go up. I couldn't tell you. I'm not knowledgeable enough. But there was a Noctis deck that I was looking at. Let me get rid of eBay. Don't need that no more. There was a few interesting ones. See, this is pretty cheap. The nice thing about Noctis is that he has a combo with a card called Ether Drift Reservoir, which is like a £15 card or something, I believe. It's a relatively chunky one, you know. It will take up a sizable amount of this here price. And I actually own it already, because I pulled it from Kaladesh, I believe, back in the day. So that does save me a bit of money, which makes this quite nice. But no, you can do like infinite combos with it basically. I don't think this version actually runs Ether Drift, because this is like a poor person one, so to speak. I'm not seeing it, but I could be blind. But I do know there's an iteration that does. Let's see, this is quite expensive, but it gives you an idea into what you're kind of looking for. I swear there's an Ether Drift somewhere. Not Ether Drift. Ether fucking something. What am I even looking for now? I'm not seeing it. Oh, it's right there. Ether Flux Reservoir. There it is. So yeah, whenever you cast a spell, you gain 1 life for each spell you've cast. So cast 1 spell, gain 1 life. Cast another spell. Since it's your second spell, you now gain 2 life, I believe. Yeah, and it goes up like that. So it's pretty strong. And you can basically go, well, you can go infinite with Noctis. And he's a nice cheap commander. But he allows you to just cast artifacts by paying 3 life. Like, if it's in your graveyard. So one of the things I saw, I don't know if this one's going to do it or not. Was it no, it wasn't Arcane Signet. It was a, it was some, like, I mean, something like that works. Like any 0 mana cost thing, works. But no, there's, let me search up. There was a Reddit post about it. Something about breaking. I mean, I'm probably not going to see it now. Yeah, this one here. Like I said, I mean, I'm just talking about random bullshit that I want to talk about. It's not even that entertaining, but hey, it's something a little different, so I thought we may as well. So yeah, you play Noctis, obviously, your commander. He's pretty expensive, to be fair. It's not the best combo, but it's fun. And then yeah, you cast your Reservoir for the life gain, and then yeah, Mox Diamond, which I don't believe this guy's running actually, which is interesting. Can I search up Mox Diamond? I think it's a 0 cost. Yeah, it is a 0 cost. When it comes into play, yeah, so this is where the fun begins. So you play Mox Diamond from your hand or whatever. Or it could be in your graveyard already if you milled it. Ignore the price on that. You can get it a lot cheaper than that, I think. I hope you can at least, actually. Let me check how there's got to be a really cheap reprint of it, right? You're scaring me with these prices. Is it really that expensive of a card? I didn't even realize. Well, I could just get a fucking anime girl proxy. May have to do that because I'm poor. I have no problem. That's a Jasper. Okay, maybe Diamond is significantly more expensive than I thought it was. Shows how much I know. Yeah, fair enough. Wow, I'll have to proxy that then. Our friend group doesn't really care about proxies, but I just personally like the knowledge of knowing I own the original thing. You know, if that makes sense. But anyway, it's still fun. So you obviously you play it for free, and then when it comes into play, you can discard a land or it gets destroyed. So you just let it get destroyed. So you played a spell which triggers Aetherflux, Reservoir, which gives you a life, and Noctis allows you to pay 3 life to then play it with their costs. But because it doesn't have a cost, because it's a 0, you just lose 3 life. So you gained 1 life, now you lose 3 life, so you're 2 down, and then you play it again. And you don't discard a land, so it gets destroyed. So now, because it's your second spell this turn, you now gain 2 life, which balances you out to where you were. And now you just keep doing it again. So you pay 3 life to play Mox Diamond again, and then you let it die. So you just lost 3 life, but because you've played it, your third spell, Aetherflux Reservoir, gives you 3 life. And you do it again, and this time you gain 4 life. So now you've made a 1 life profit. And now you just do it 49 more times. You just keep doing it again and again and again, because you can do it infinitely, right? Unless someone disrupts you. But if you've done it that many times, chances are no one's going to disrupt you. But the beautiful thing is, I'm in the way. Let me move myself. You can't really see it too well, actually. Can I blip, 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 blip? Oh, it's not working. Okay. Oh god, give me 100. I don't want to go on Amazon. I just want to fucking... Now I'm in the way again. What the fuck? Control Z, my bitch ass. I'm sure there's probably something that I shouldn't be showing on stream here, but whatever. But no, you can pay 50 life, and it deals 50 damage to target creature or player. So, let's say you're doing the Commander game with 2 other people. You could basically... You don't have to do the combo infinitely. Well, you do and you don't. You can basically show how it works, show how it's infinite, and then you can do it a few times, but you don't have to individually do it like over 50 times. You can just say, oh, okay, I do this combo 50 times. But if you've got 2 opponents, because it's not a once per turn either. So if you've got 2 opponents, you obviously need to sacrifice a total of 100 life, but you also need life yourself. So you'll probably be at like fucking 30 life or whatever anyway. But I would, to be safe, I mean, to be even like extremely safe, you could just be overkill and be like, okay, I do this combo 500 times or whatever. Or you could just say, I do this combo until I have 500 health, which I don't even know if the maths works out that way. But I'm sure at that point, I mean, you've won. So I'm sure your opponents don't really care and they just want you to get on with it. So you could just say, oh, I just do it to get like over 10,000 health. And then you can be like, okay, I pay 50 life to do 50 damage to that one player, they're dead. And then I'll do it again, pay 50 life to damage the other player and they're dead. And the chances of you being able to pull that off is pretty fucking unlikely, really. Because you need 3 very specific cards. One of them's your commander, so you don't really need that. So you need to get Aetherflux, and you need to get Mox Diamond. Obviously, Mox Diamond is actually significantly more expensive than I thought it was going to be. But you could just be sad and proxy that. But once again, it depends on the individual. Let me bring up Dex of Noctis on EDH Rec, because But most of these probably won't have a Mox Diamond in them, but I think it's fun. The one thing you can do is obviously because you can play them from grave, you could just run like what I would call a Light Sworn deck if it was Yu-Gi-Oh. But like just a mill deck because it doesn't matter if they're in your grave as long as they don't get exiled. So if you have no way of being able to search them, or draw into them, if you have some sort of way to just send a bunch of shit to the graveyard and be like, oh, hey, look, I just milled Etherflux, now I can play it. I mean, it'd be kind of expensive, and it may get destroyed, but, you know. Anyway, let's look at some of the shit we've got here. Seems like whenever I see Marvin or any sort of colorless things, I immediately know there's going to be issues with a fun combo. But this deck, I like it when there's, kind of lore involved. To my own detriment. You know, like my Edgar deck. Edgar's a top commander. He's one of the best commanders because he has the Eminence ability, which is like a passive ability that just is constantly active. It didn't last very long because people didn't like it, funnily enough. But I wanted to go for a Sorin tribal deck, and Sorin is just a planeswalker, and tribal is where you have basically every single version of that planeswalker, and it's not the optimal way to run the deck at all. I'm running a shit version of a good deck, but it's all about the Innistrad card, so all the cards tell a story, and they're all together in one nice deck, and it plays like shit, but it's fun, you know? And I like that this deck, one thing I immediately saw is it has a lot of Final Fantasy cards. It's cool that it has a cloud in there. And even you know, Sid, Marvin's just a meme card. I like all the colorless ones. Eldrazi's are cool. All these are cool. That's a fun card to fuck around with. It's got Sephiroth in there as well. A few Sephiroth cards. It would be nice if it had more Final Fantasy 15 cards specifically. It does have From Father to Son. I wanted a deck that had all the ones like it had like Gladiolus in it and Ignis in it and Prompto in it, because I think it'd be really cool. But I think they have very different mana bases, so I don't think it's even possible to really get them to work that well. But do I even have Khan the Great Creator? I may have that. I have Khan Liberated, and I have another Khan as well. But this seems not like not terrible. There's $300, which is fucking expensive, and that doesn't even take into consideration shipping and tax. But there's probably a way to make this a bit cheaper. That cloud card's really fucking expensive at the moment, actually. What does it even do? Search your library for an equipment card, reveal it, put it into your hand and shuffle. As long as equipment ability or equipment, that ability triggers. What equipment are you running? Is it... Okay, so what have we got here? A lot of equipment. I was assuming the equipment would have been a way to do something with the Noctis combo, but it doesn't actually appear to be the case. It all just seems to be actually buffing things. I thought it would allow you to like mill stuff or search stuff. Doesn't seem to be the case, really. Yeah, they're going heavy on the equipment. But no, not seeing too much there. I would really like to go into the Etherflux combo more, but I think it's because Mox Diamond is just so fucking expensive. There is other oh, it's got the Regalia. That's a cool thing, but it doesn't seem like it goes too much into that combo. It does have this actually. Tormod's I don't know how that would work though, because I feel like you couldn't do it too much. You could do it maximum 3 times, because you could exile your own graveyard, which would probably fuck you up. But then you can exile both your opponents. Well, it depends how many opponents you have, but you're probably having around 3. I would have 3 in my personal play group, or sometimes I just have the other guy. And you're not really meant to play commander like 1v1, but fuck it, whatevs. But if your opponent doesn't have a graveyard, can you exile it? Maybe I'll search it up. I don't think I'm going to get the answer I want, though. Can you exile a graveyard with no cards in it? Like, does it activate? I don't really trust AI, but whatever. Because you could go infinite with that. And it's dirt cheap compared to other things. I'm assuming it allows you to activate because you tap it and then you sacrifice it and then you. But like I can only use Yu-Gi-Oh rules because you have to sacrifice it and then activate its ability. Even if the ability doesn't activate, you've still sacrificed it beforehand, so it should still go to grave. You don't care about the ability. All you care about is like it being in grave, because you want to constantly be able to spam a 0 mana cost artifact, so then you can basically go infinite with Ether Flux. I think that's the only 0. I would stack it with 0 manas, honestly. I wonder, could you go infinite with a Soul Ring? Like I said, I really am not super knowledgeable, but you know, could you not play Soul Ring for 1, tap to add 2, sacrifice. Wait, you have no way of sacrificing Soul Ring, though, do you? No. I was going to say, if you could sacrifice Soul Ring, you could have infinite mana as well, could you not? Because you could pay 1 and then tap for 2, so you'd gain 1 every single time, but you have no way of sacrificing it. Everflame Chalice. Does that have any sort of sacrificial thing? And this is a... no, because you just tap it, really. You multi-kick it and tap. Charge cannon off each time it's kicked. Tap. If only it, like, died afterwards. Remove gem. Target can't... yeah, you can't get rid of it, though. It's not like, you know, you need to get rid of it. That's just how you go infinite. But, I mean, all these are still nice. So what makes it 300 clamshells? Obviously, there's a few lands. This one land, you can just replace this though. We don't really give it. I don't personally give a shit about lands. They just make your deck more OP. So I can save myself $25 there. And the rest are okay. I may have this card. I'm not sure. I think I have a different card, honestly. This could potentially fuck off. I don't know. We'll have to see. It seems that you kind of need Cloud, really, because there's so many equipments here. So many equipments. But, I mean, that's kind of a pricey guy. I already have quite a few Arcane Signets. I mean, it's dirt cheap anyway, and I have Ether Flux, so I can save a little bit there. No, I imagine, like, Sephiroth and shit will be, yeah, I mean, that guy is so fucking expensive. Y'shtola's cool. That's a different version of Y'shtola. It's a useful one. I don't know if I need this Sephiroth. What does it do? Sacrifice another creature. If you do, draw a card. It's useful, but not necessarily for what you want to be doing with Noctis. Whenever another creature dies, target opponent loses 1 life, you gain 1 life. If this is the 4th time it happens, transform him. That's hard to read. As this creature transforms, you get an emblem with whenever a creature dies. If it sacrificed artifacts, it would be phenomenal for this particular deck. It's still a good card, but I feel like it's not needed in this deck. I think it's just there because it's like, oh yeah, I'm just powerful by myself. It's not like I'm powerful because I make this deck, like, synergize better, if that makes any sense. You could just chuck that into most decks and it would work. And yeah, this roaming throne's pretty pricey as well. Why is it pricey? If a triggered ability of another creature you control triggers an additional time. Yeah, it's always pretty fucking. That always causes issues, really, doesn't it? But there's there is a cheap. There's quite a few cheap versions. That's within an affordable range. What have we got here? Still leaning into the Final Fantasy theme, which is nice. It's got fucking Imhotep, that's interesting. I do like Necrons, to be fair. Quite a few different creatures, really, and all sorts of stuff. And obviously, focusing on the artifacts. Yeah, I have Bolus's Citadel, so I could save some money there. Got a nice Bolus Citadel, actually. Another 0. What does this do? Sacrifice. See, this has potential to go infinite as well, I think. Any 0 cost that has like a sacrifice is kind of what we're looking for. Look at the top card of Toggleplay's library, draw a card at the beginning of the next turn. So that would stack as well. So you could draw your whole fucking deck if you wanted to. You'd have to be careful though. Actually, no, because that's a lie. Because you could deck out, but you wouldn't because you'd win the same turn. Because it's at the beginning of the next turn. But as Yuya once said, there won't be a next turn. So that's a nice cheap way of winning. Does he have any others? Does he have the other 0-1 we just saw? He doesn't. I would have there was a different 0 mana one. That was the Exile Graveyard one. That also worked. I think. I'd have to check with my friends. My friends will probably tell me it won't work. I think it works. Google AI told me, and clearly that's a reliable source. It's got a nice side quest. I like these ones because they're like they just give you a lot of like memories of the game and shit, but they're also just kind of fun. I already have a command tower. Although it's dirt cheap anyway. But, I could probably... This deck looks not bad. There's a few things I'll change, though. Cause like I said, I really want to go into the Aetherflux combo. I have a Bola Citadel, so I save money there. And is it even running Aetherflux, actually? Is it not? Is it trying to save money? Because I was going to say, I save money on Aetherflux as well. Because those are 2 big artifacts that I have. I actually don't think this version is running Aetherflux for some fucking reason. That's a bit weird. It has a few good shouts, but they're mainly just staples. But I kind of know what I want with the deck. Like I said, I just want Noctis and a bunch of ways of really like this card here is actually useful. Artifact spells you cast cost 1 less. Because if you get this on field, you can now potentially go infinite with artifacts that cost 1 mana. Provided that they have a thing where it's like sacrifice them. Because you could get a Soul Ring for free and a Sunbeam Bomb. But that's still diminishing returns. You can't go infinite with it because you have to sacrifice. Well, not sacrifice, but in order to get rid of it, you have to pay a mana. Unless you have a way of getting, like, infinite mana. And this also sacrifices itself, but... yeah, that's not... It's not infinite either, unfortunately. It's close. It doesn't intrinsically have to be infinite. There's still some fun combos you can do. I wonder, is there another thing that can stack with this? Is there another one that makes it cost less? See, spells you cast from your graveyard cost 2 less. That's a fucking shout. That is smart. Because then you could look at ones that cost 2 and play those for free. So the guy's cooking to an extent. He just needs Aetherflux, really. Which I don't quite know why he's not got. I think he's trying to be on a budget. But, I mean, you can play Arcane Signet for free, but it hasn't got a sacrifice, so... let's see. You gain... That's not... I mean, you could do something with this, because the whole point is to gain life, so then you can use Aetherflux's ability to pay 50 to do 50. So, you could gain a decent amount of life through that. Oh, hang on, Grinding Station has potential, because that costs 2, which means it would be free if you had that monster on field. Sacrifice an artifact, that is incredibly useful, because you could then do it with like a Soul Ring or something as well. So having that on field is nice. Target player puts the top 3 cards of his or library into his... Yo, wait, this card's fucking sick! For what I personally want to be doing. Because if you have... if you have Emmet on field, I mean, you can do it with this thing anyway. Because it would just cost 0. But if you didn't have Emmet on field and had this on field, you could sacrifice anything really. Any old artifact you want. And then target player puts the top 3 cards of his or her library into his or her graveyard. Yeah, so you could actually win via deck out with that card, because you can make your opponent mill their whole entire deck. So, for example, let's say we don't have Emmet, But we do have Ethereum Sculptor. So artifact spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. So if we were to sacrifice Grinding Station, you'd be paying 1. So you could pay 1, tap it, destroy itself, pay 1 to bring it back, but obviously every single time you're doing it, you're losing a mana. So, but you could do it on like a Soul Ring or something, for example. So let's say you have Soul Ring in play, or just any 1 mana card, like a Sunbeam, Spell Bomb, or whatever. It doesn't matter. So you've got this on field and an artifact that costs 1. So you tap this, destroy an artifact that costs 1 to mill top 3 cards of a graveyard, of their deck into their grave. And now, because your 1 mana thing is in the grave, and because they cost 1 less, they cost 0, you can immediately bring it back. Because an artifact comes into play, you can untap it, then you can tap it again to then send it to graveyard, bring it back, send it to the graveyard, so you can go infinite that way, even without Aetherflux. So there is actually another infinite combo. And the way you're winning is via deck out. So you just make your opponent, like, you make it so every single one of their cards goes into the graveyard. And then, like let's say you're going like a triangle, because there's 3 people, and it's my turn, I'm doing this shit. And the next turn, obviously, it's your opponent, or it's a opponent's turn, and then it'll be the other opponent's turn, then your turn again, or something like that. It depends on how many people you have. And obviously, because it goes infinite, you can target different people, so you can make both opponents' deck out. So you can just make it so they have no cards in their deck, end your turn, and then it's their turn, they're forced to draw a card, and they can't, so you win. So I will remember that, and I will actually heart this, so then I can use it later. There's a lot of things I disagree with in this deck. Like, it needs Aetherflux, it just does. I would rather have, if you were having one big hitter, you'd rather have Aetherflux than Bolas. I'm actually fortunate enough to have both. So maybe I'll use both? I mean, it's useful. You may play the top card of your library. If you cast a spell this way, pay life equal to its converted mana cost rather than pay its mana cost. Sacrifice 10 non-land permanents. So it works kind of the same way as Aetherflux in the way how you want to win. You just spam artifacts until you win, which is what you would do with Aetherflux. But it's interesting because you could wombo combo so very hard. Because I don't know, there's so many ways you can gain life. So it would be a gamble. Like, you could just spam Noctis's ability on instant ramen to keep gaining a bunch of life, and then if you use it like 3 times, you would then gain 9 life total. So then if you paid this, you can play most things, basically. Play your top card of your library, and you can just spend life, you know? And you could just keep doing that, really. Like, let's say all you've got is Noctis on field, and you've got fuck all mana. Instant ramen. Or you've got 4 mana, and then you instant ramen, and then you gain some life or some shit, and then it depends a lot on luck. But then I don't know if you can. Is land classified as a spell? Is the question? And maybe, may not be. It's not. That kind of is a problem. So you would need a decent amount of land then. I was saying if you could like use land, but you can't. That shows how much I know. But let's say you had a bit of land spare. You could play. You just look at your top card and you'll just play it because you have enough life to play it. And you can play a few things as well. But I mean, even playing like a Soul Ring, extra 2 mana, that means you could do this again if you wanted to potentially. Obviously, it'll be tapped. But if you have a way of sacrificing it, like with Grinding Station, you can bring it back. But that's a really good way of being able to play stuff and drawing stuff. I don't think it doesn't have a limit, really. You can play the top card whenever you want. At any time. So it's pretty decent. It just seems like a slightly more convoluted, more gambly way of using Aetherflux, which is more guaranteed. But no, if you run this with Aetherflux, it's pretty good because you can use this and you can keep like playing everything you draw until you go into Aetherflux. Play it for not free, but playing it for your life, which frees up your mana. And now you can start playing other things and you're going to eventually start healing through it, you know? Like, let's say you're at like you use Bolus Citadel and you play Ether Flux for life, and let's say you're at like 10 life. Then you play it again, and then you fucking draw a Cloud Key or something. So you just lose 3 life. You play it, so you're at fucking like 7 life now. But you do gain 1 back because Ether Flux, and then so now you're at 8. Play this, so you're now at 5, but you gain 2 back because of Ether Flux. You're now at like 7, I believe. And then I don't know, fucking play some random other shit, and then play this, so you lose, so you're now back down to 5, but then you gain 3, so now you're up to 6, and that's when it starts spiraling out of control, because then you start gaining 4, 5, 6, and eventually you can just play your whole entire deck, and it's made out of relatively cheap cards, you know, in terms of creatures. I mean, you got some expensive sorceries, to be fair, but there's a lot of cheap things. Does it tell you what the average mana cost is? It probably does somewhere here. 22 creatures. I don't think it does. I'm not seeing it. I'm not super well versed in these. I don't know what the average mana cost is, but I don't imagine it's a lot. So you'd eventually heal through it. Anyway, I've been rambling about a bunch of useless shit. That's kind of been the point. Hopefully you enjoyed the hour where we did the tier list. Hopefully you weren't pissed off when I did an hour just doing some random investigation shit, even though I did find it fun. We're not going to be doing a lot of that, because obviously I know it's a bit of a touchy subject, but I thought it was fun. And we're just fucking around today. That was the whole point. And then obviously just talk about magic, which is normally not something I do either. I mean, sometimes I do, but I don't like talking about things that kind of require quote-unquote specialist knowledge. Every single person that clicks on the stream, then obviously not a lot of people are going to know what I'm talking about. There's a lot of people do play Magic, but there's more people that don't. And I like catering to the masses. But because it's like a special celebration stream, I thought I'd really just kind of talk about things I'm passionate about, or just things I wanted to talk about regardless. This is just a stream to just fuck around with. I don't expect it to do well. Just chatting streams never do well. But I'm decent at just chatting, I suppose. In the fact that I can literally not shut the fuck up for 3 hours. And that's what I've done. It's almost like a test. We haven't played a game today on stream, which is rare. I've legit just fucking spoken for 3 hours straight. By myself. Talking to myself. Kind of fucking mental, really. It's really warm in my room right now because my PC is blowing hot air right into me. But, no, we'll wrap it up here. I'm going to stall for time until it gets to the 3 hour mark. We've only got 4 minutes, but it'll just look nicer. That's literally the only reason. Because I'm just fucking stupid like that. Although there is a bit of a delay between my OBS and my YouTube, so if I stopped at exactly the 3 hour mark, it'd probably be like 2 hours 59 or something on that, but hey, whatevs. But no, I want to cuck with this. I think there's potential. The issue is that there's a lot of other decks I was looking at. Obviously, the Tifa deck that I saw earlier, the Landfall deck with the Jumbo Cactuar, looks incredibly funny with the meme potential. But I think Noctis has so many broken infinite combos. And I really like Noctis. Noctis is one of my favorite Final Fantasy characters. So I can afford both, but that's dumb. I should really only afford one. And I still want to look at Y'shtola decks as well, but they also look kind of expensive. I don't know what to do, bro. When I was researching this morning, I was really like, man, I'm going to get a Tifa deck. And it's not because she's like fucking got big fucking fat juicy milkers on her or anything, which would, you may not believe me, but I imagine a lot of people that are going to be playing Tifa, they're playing it because, you know, oh, it's a woman. But I'm just playing it because she just happens to have a good ability. And it's Final Fantasy. And half the cards in her thing weren't even Final Fantasy. They were just green ramp cards with elves and shit, you know, your usual stuff. But it was just fun. And the main boss monster ultimately was Jumbo Cactuar, which was what I wanted to go for. I wanted a deck where I could just use that meme card of Trample. Because it just looks hilarious. And Noctis is just one of my favorite Final Fantasy characters. Even if I'm not a big Final Fantasy fan. I just like his design and his story and shit. It's cool. And he just happens to have useful abilities, really. But yeah. One thing I forgot to mention actually is if you cast a spell this way, the artifact enters with a finality counter on it, which I did forget about because that means when it leaves, it gets banished, I believe, which stops it from no, why did I finality counter? But there is a way of bypassing it. I actually forgot about that. Create a single replacement effect. This permanent would be put into a graveyard from the battlefield. Exile it instead. But it's not, well, how does like sacrificing work though? Because this is when you get into Yu-Gi-Oh! Because there's a difference between like sending to the graveyard and destroying a monster. Destroying a monster sends it to the graveyard. But so if there's a monster that says can't be destroyed, it can't be destroyed by things that say destroy, but it can go to the graveyard if you send it there because you're not destroying it. So there's a caveat. Because it says if Grave Titan would die, however our artifacts aren't dying, we're sacrificing them. So there could potentially be something there. I kind of want to go back to Mr. Reddit Man, actually. I'm just going to bring up a new tab. Because I'm pretty sure in his post he said that he was bypassing the finality counter with Mox Diamond. Let's see. And yeah, but completely disregard the finality counter. Cast Mox Diamond. As Mox Diamond is on the stack, you throw it into the graveyard. Well, it seems to bypass it, but I don't really know how. Let's see. I should really, maybe I'll save this. How do I, does it used to be a way to save? There we go. I'll save that because a lot of the comments will have useful things like adding Chalice of the Void. No idea what that card is. I'll search it up. I don't know if it's expensive or not. If it's expensive, then, you know. What's this? Whenever a player casts a spell, if no mana was spent to cast it, counter that spell. That's actually decent. And the reason it's decent is, I'm assuming it's just because it bypasses the finality counter. Is my assumption. I think. But I think I've got it correct. The artifact enters with a finality counter on it. But it's I think it's only if it gets destroyed. But you're not destroying them, you're sacrificing them. I think it's a type of Yu-Gi-Oh! Caveat that I'd be familiar with. Like Mishra's Bauble. You're sacrificing it. So it's not being destroyed or anything, but it's going to the graveyard, but I think it bypasses finality as a result. Like, if I summoned it, and then, I don't know, someone used an instant spell that destroys target artifact or something, it would be exiled. But because I'm choosing to sacrifice it, it bypasses finality. Let me look at the wording on Mox Diamond again. Because the wording will likely shed light on it. Let me move myself over. Yeah, sacrifice. Interesting. I think I found the caveat. Comes into play, choose and discard a land or sacrifice it. So this guy here, he doesn't really explain how it bypasses the finality counter, but I think I figured it out. You can just throw it into the graveyard. And I guess that just bypasses the finality, because it didn't get destroyed, it got sacrificed. That's what I'm going to be operating under. That's how I'm going to be doing it. We'll have to see how my friends think about it. If they'll catch on or not, you know? Because they kind of change the rules depending on if they're winning or not. Like, they'll probably let me do it once, you know? So I'll do it that way, how I'll be like, oh, okay, sacrifice bypasses finality. I'll win that way by going infinite, and then I'll be like, okay, from now on, the rule is that it doesn't bypass finality, and then the deck just doesn't work from then on, you know? So you get one extremely fun game, and then it's just kind of, eh. That's kind of what happened with Avacyn. Avacyn's basically been banned, bless her. Which was going to happen, obviously. I did kind of expect it, I just didn't expect it to be that quick. But it's kind of a shame when you spend so much money on a deck and you can literally only get like one good game with it, and it's like, oh, one. Anyway, it's been over 3 hours now that I've just been talking to myself. So let's do a ending, an outro that normally takes me fucking an extra 10 minutes because I never know how to end my shit. But once again, I can't reiterate enough how much I appreciate all your support. I don't deserve it, but I get it anyway, so that's cool. But no, I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing. I kind of fuck around and I do what I want, when I want, and it's all about having fun. And with that being said, tomorrow we'll probably be playing Secrets of the Mimic. I don't care that it's oversaturated. I don't care that it's gonna do badly. I want to play the game, so we're gonna be fucking playing it. Hopefully, if I can afford it, and it downloads in time. If not, I may have to wait a few days, see what it's looking like, see if I can get like a deal on it, if it'll go on sale somewhere. Who knows? But we have a lot to do tomorrow, because I can either play Doom, Secrets of the Mimic, maybe Final Fantasy. I do want to play 6 at some point. I would play 15 and 16, but I'm already halfway through them, and I don't really want to start again. I won't play 7 because I've already finished 7. That's the only one I have finished. We could play Crisis Core. Could dabble in that. Don't know if I'll finish it or not. I probably won't. I'll probably get halfway through and think, yeah, this is kind of mid. However, I could be wrong at the same time. But if I stream it, I am more likely to finish it, though. So, there's that going for me. But no, I'm kind of going on a weird Final Fantasy craze at the moment. I've tried several times in my life to try and get into it, and I failed miserably. But MTG's making me want to try again, which is literally the point. I'm falling victim to their advertising. This is exactly what they want from me, because now I spend more money on them, and then I talk about it, which makes more people aware of it, which makes them more likely to spend more money on it. So I'm just another cog in their fucking money-making machine. But hey-ho. Let's just be blissfully ignorant of the fact that I'm just a pawn in someone else's game, and I'm happy to spend hundreds on fucking cardboard, but hey, it's fun, and that's what really matters. But on that note, I hope you've had a grand old time. You probably haven't, because it's been not very fun for you. It's been fun for me, but you've just had to listen to someone talk to themselves for 3 hours, and half of the shit you probably didn't care about. You probably thought my gaming top 50 was an extremely hot take, and you probably were like, shouting at your screen at me. Hopefully I talked enough to justify a few of those things. Half of them is just personal preference. A lot of it's nostalgia, it's just how it is. A lot of it's just because I think it makes me based when it doesn't. But, and then an hour about going into drama, which isn't my usual thing. But I thought we'll dabble in it. It's good to try new things. Good to see if anyone has any thoughts on that. If I dealt with that correctly or not. It felt fun doing it, because I felt like it just felt cool, like solving a puzzle when you look at different dates, and it's like, okay, well, you know, your YouTube channel's just sold, and you said you went on hiatus then, and your stream stopped then, so that links up, and this drama happened then, which suggests this, and you said this, which leans into that. I'm definitely not the right person to be talking about it, but it's fun to pretend to be cool, and like a detective and shit, you know? So... But no, I don't imagine I'll be doing a lot of that. But if people want it, then I guess I can do it. But don't expect me to be some sort of clickbaity YouTuber, or like some sort of drama-mongering fucking guy, because that's not me. But he says as he did an hour segment about it, really. But no, I just thought I'd dabble in it. And then I talked about fucking Magic for an hour, which I'm sure everyone watching probably doesn't even give a shit about. But whatever, it's just like a one-off thing. And then we'll go back to same old, even though it's not really same old, because I'm a variety streamer. I play different game every fucking week. But no, I'm rambling about a bunch of bullshit, and I'm just kind of fumbling this, so I'll fuck off now. Once again, I appreciate all of you top shaggers, and I'll catch you all later. Ta-ra!